Race fans, good evening and a very warm 3Y TV. Welcome to Newton, Iowa. We are live from the beautiful 7/8 mile Iowa Speedway. I'm Cameron Rich in the booth with Carlos Acosta, man the cameras, as always. Tonight, sun sets on a grueling season, 16 rounds, 32 races. It all comes down fittingly to the next 282 laps around the fastest short track on the planet. That's what this place calls itself. By the end of the night, we will crown the 2026 Rio Grande Mexican Girl Cup Series champion, the 12th Premier Series champion in OSCA history. Check the track facts there on the screen. 73 degrees here, partly cloudy skies. Great night for a race, and you can see the track length 0.89 is what iRacing calls it. It is 7/8 of a mile, so here is our points coming into tonight. It is a tie at the top. 11:25, and then just a few points behind there is Austin Beers. I believe that he is the mathematical and realistic only other contender there with Gore and McIntosh. I think Ray Bracey does have a bit of an outside shot, but we will see how that plays out. Team points much the same, but we could not script a better finale. Last week at Gateway, the pressure was on all these drivers and the Redux Racing teammates of Ty McIntosh and Daniel Gore. They rose to the occasion. They captured both checkered flags, and that is going to set up our monumental showdown. So you already saw they are dead even on the points. We'll talk about championship situation after that, but our grid, let's get through that real quick. Daniel Gore. It is basically the point standings here coming into tonight, so you will see no real surprises as we roll through it, but Daniel Gore lines up right next to his teammate, who he is fighting for with the championship, Ty McIntosh. Austin Beers there in third, Ray Bracey fourth, Eric Siegel fifth, James Watson sixth, Darren Staff seventh, Kynan Jones eighth, Dallas Myhan ninth, Thomas Capuano there in 10th, 11th will be Ty Alcas, 12th is Aaron Evans. Lucky 13th today is Dylan Thomas. Neil Rutt in what might be his last OSCA start for at least a little bit. He will line up in 14th. Zach Evans might be the same for him. He lines up 15th. 16th will be Dave Carpenter. 17th, Patrick Hahey. The flying Frenchman himself, AJ Vasseur, will line up in 18th. And 19th is Connor Thompson for 19 cars for 282 laps around this joint, so buckle up. It will be a long one, but your championship situation, Daniel Gore, he's hunting for his 4th consecutive here tonight, and he knows how to handle the pressure, but his biggest threat comes from the other side of the Redux Racing shop. That's Ty McIntosh. He's hungry, he's got the momentum, he's looking to etch his name into the history books with his very first OSCA title. And as teammates, they've shared data all season. They have practiced. They have told each other everything. It is now every man for themselves. And to be the man, Ty has to beat the man. That is Daniel Gore, the 3-time and reigning OSCA champion. And that is going to be a monumental task. Don't count out Austin Beers. He's the wild card, lurking just a handful of points behind. He's looking for his first one here in OSCA champion. Or an OSCA competition. That's your 2026 Whelen Modified Tour champion. Still looking to get it done here in the OSCA Racing League. So you can bet if they have any sorts of issues there between the teammates, Ty McIntosh, Daniel Gore, he will be there to pick up the pieces. Ray Bracey, outside shot as well for him. He's another Redux Racing car, but we will have to see what comes out of the 282 laps here tonight. One more pace lap to set it all, and you can see, believe this is going to be the last season as well for these Gen 6 stock cars. I believe we're moving to the trucks next season, so enjoy these while you can. Lots of cool paint schemes, and a lot of these paint schemes might be the last time we will see them for at least a little while. Like to welcome our chatters tonight. See Wolf Gaming and Thrasher there. We know Thrasher's going to be rooting for Ty McIntosh, so like we said, buckle up. It's going to be a long one here tonight. I believe it will be this time by should be the last. We did have 3 laps of green. So should be one more time around here, but just really another lap of, I would say pressure, thinking about what could happen here. You really, if you're in a championship situation, if you're in a pressure situation like this, you kind of just want things to get going here as quickly as possible. So if you're Daniel Gore, if you're Ty McIntosh, what happens now or what happens next? You both have TFM cars right behind you, so you can bet that, or excuse me, there's 2 TFM cars behind Daniel Gore. Ty McIntosh has Ray Bracey behind him, but we have seen team shenanigans all season. Are we going to see that here tonight? It definitely is something that is not out of the realm, but there we go. The pace car has pulled in. Green flag out here at Iowa. 282 laps from now, we will crown a champion going into turn 1. Will we keep it clean? Bit of argy-bargy back there. Thomas Capuano around the outside. He almost had some contact. Oh, Aaron Evans into the side of, I think that was, might have been Ty Alcus there at the back. See what happens with that, but we do have a battle for second. Daniel Gore and Austin Beers going at it. Beers is going to slot right up there into the 1 exactly car length shape gap there between himself and Ray Bracey, but Ray Bracey all sorts of loose there in turn number 1. Almost lost it from under himself, so Eric Ziegel going to get the run on the outside here. Comes Austin Beers once again making an aggressive move on the inside of the 69. He might think that he's going to have to get that move done early, so we're probably going to see lots of aggression here out of the 19. He comes into tonight's race down on points compared to both of these two. Remember, they are tied, so it is basically a straight fight as we go through tonight. No passing points, no anything like that. It's going to be straight racing. Austin Beers now at the line, going to be nipped just by Daniel Gore, looks like, but they are going to continue side by side. Ooh, Beers running up the track. That is a dangerous game to play if you are Beers. He runs Gore up the track and puts him into the clutches of Eric Ziegel. I don't think Gore is going to like that too terribly much here on lap 4 of this race, but yeah, already Gore going on the radio a little bit, getting a little heated on that, and that might be the team play. Who knows what they're going to try to do tonight, but it is kind of, we've heard lots of accusations, we've heard lots of what-ifs about team politics and team plays, and I would say as a broadcaster of this league and having been involved with it since 2022 to some extent, I hope that's not the case. I hope we go through here with a good, clean championship fight, and we have a worthy OSCA champion crowned, and that really, should be pretty self-explanatory. But here on lap 6, we are still racing. Good racing so far. They've kept it clean. Let's keep doing that. Eric Ziegel and Daniel Gore side by side. That is for the 3rd position. Beers has cemented himself up into 2nd for now, and we know he's good at these types of tracks. Right now, Ty McIntosh is the leader, and he's looking good. 0.4 of a second out in front. He's got the clean air, and he's been practicing a lot this week. We know he really wants it here in that Kyle Busch tribute. And who knows, that might be just a little bit extra horsepower, a little bit extra willpower, a little bit extra whatever you call it for that driver. But unfortunately, long one here tonight. We got plenty more to go, plenty to play for. And, all he can do is try to keep up that consistency, keep up that momentum, and keep up that pace, and just do what he can do. It's going to be fate to take him the rest of the way. Right now, he is running the best lap times of the top 5, about a 10th quicker than anyone else in that bracket, and right exactly where he needs to be if he's going to come out here and get his first OSCA champion. But we'll see. We'll see how that kind of plays out through the race. Daniel Gore right now battling with Ty Alcus, and we saw him involved in a bit of a late race altercation last week with a couple drivers. He got himself kind of involved in some
shenanigans, and right now might be one of the Team Fenceline Motorsports might be one of their pawns to do something, but we'll see how that plays out too. He is having a good run up here in the top 5 right now.
Daniel Gore, he's lost a couple spots right now. Remember, he started P1 back to P6. But is he saving? Is he trying to play some kind of play here and do something different? We'll have to wait and see on that one. Seeing in the chat that Thrasher has said that Thrasher has been on last week, and yeah, that is I can definitely sympathize with that just a little bit. Back in 2023B, I was in the same position, and it's just something you've got to block out everything that isn't making the best possible lap time that you can right now. You can see we're on board with Gore, and we have our rotating roof cam now, courtesy of Carlos. So very cool shots we have here, but you can see some of these drivers starting to move up, and actually Gore under fire from Darren's Staff right now. Staff looking to move around that outside, maybe not going to be through 1 and 2. There's too many bumps up there, but number 45 looking very quick in these early stages of the race, lap 13. And good Lord, I feel like I've been talking for about the last 30 minutes right now. So how are we going to get through this whole race? But Daniel Gore, he does hold off that 45 for now. And, it's early stages, but you know that he would love to be a little bit higher than he is. But I think the last thing you want to do as a driver is get yourself psyched up and get yourself in a mindset that anything could be over. This race is too long to get yourself into that kind of a mentality here. But right now, McIntosh up there, he is just looking clinical with his laps, his lap times. He's got a line behind him of beers. They're kind of all lined up behind him with a gaps up to about a second now. So you can tell that McIntosh has done his practice before this one. Ray Bracely having a good run up there in the top 5 right now, running 4th, and our Delta tracker down here on the bottom. Of course, it is green is good, red is bad, and you can see last couple laps that Beers has been about a 10th and some change slower than this number 10. And we'll see what it is this time by about a half a tenth quicker there. A third of a tenth, I think that would actually be, but nobody really says a third, so closer to half there for Beers, but he's going to have to do a little bit more than that to catch that number 10 right now. You can already see a lot of these drivers starting to move around the lines, because this track does widen out quite a bit. Iowa has grip on the low side and high side, especially down there in turns 3 and 4. Not so much down in turns 1 and 2, right there where the 21 of Thomas Capuano went. There's some huge bumps up there that will just absolutely send you monster trucking away and send you all sorts of bouncy everywhere. But you can definitely make some grip up to about the middle line. Focused right here on the 45 of Darren Staff, one of our outside contenders in position number 6. They're thinking 3 wide for that 4th position right now. Ooh, Alcus a little loose up there on the outside line, and already using a lot of those rear tires up. We can expect to see about 5 to 6 pit stops in this race. I've heard the fuel run is about 50 laps, so about 30 more on this run, I would have to assume is what we're looking at. But right now, 20 laps in here, and your top 5 is McIntosh, Beers, Siegel, Bracey, and Alcus, who of course we are on board with right now. And Alcus is our first non-championship driver trying to continue making a name for himself here in OSCA. He's kind of had some struggles this season, but it's just a rookie season, and with every rookie season does come some struggles. Of course, he did get his first win. Was back at the second half of the Slinger Speedway race. So that was his first Premier Series win. That, of course, being in a team fence line sweep in that event. So good points day for the team back then. But that was, of course, all the way back in April. So lots has happened since then. Lots of events and lots of drama, lots of team drama, lots of league drama, lots of every type of drama up to this point. And it's been a great season to commentate and to just watch as a racing fan. So I hope that everybody who has tuned in each and every week has enjoyed what has transpired right now. And right now we have some good action on the track. Darren Staff trying to make his way around Ty Alkas there on the bottom. And you can see the different philosophies of running turns 3 and 4 in Iowa here. Ooh, Darren Staff sliding up right in front of Daniel Gore. Gore's going to try to make his move on the inside into turns 1 and 2. But turns 3 and 4 is it's a very wide corner. You can let off early and kind of wrap the bottom and drive the car off the right rear, but you can also send it off in there and kind of crank the car and drive it off the right front. And I love to do it off the right rear. I think that's just the more comfortable, faster, saving the tires way of driving the corner. But everyone can drive different. And that's one of the great things about this racetrack is I believe they did actually literally model it off of Richmond back in the day to try to emulate that style of racing that it put on, at least back then. Add a little bit more banking to it, a little bit more speed, and here is what you get. And it really has produced a lot of good racing on the stock car side and the IndyCar side of things. Of course, IndyCar actually not going here anymore, which is one of the big blunders of that series. But we do have a battle for 4th place right now. Alkas trying to make the move on Bracey. He's going to try it on the bottom side there. Does not have the room to make the pass off of turn number 4 there. Going to have to try again through 1 and 2. Let's see what Alkas does. Oh, he's going to drive it in there and door the 7 out of the way. That is, well, it's about what you expect based on how that 89 drove last week. But I don't think the driver of the 7 is going to be too terribly happy about that. And, it was clear as day in Technicolor right there. You can kind of see what happened and make your own judgment. I'm not sure if I would approve of being driven like that here on lap 28, but it is what it is. I'm just commentating it, so we will see what happens. Officially 10% of the way through the race, which is the fun fact of that move. But we are on board here with Ray Bracey. He gets moved back to the 6th position. Daniel Gore, of course, in front of him, one of the other Redux racing cars. Everybody otherwise so far having minded their P's and Q's, right? Staff looking on the bottom of Ray Bracey. I think Ray going to make a business decision and not fight him too terribly hard. But as I say that, here he comes back on the bottom through into turn number 1. Outside line just a little bit better on the exit there. So Darren Staff going to make the move stick, and now Ray Bracey going to have to be fighting off that number 78 out of Dallas Mayan, another one of our non-championship contender in that 78, and it's had a pretty decent season, I'd say. I think he would probably want a little bit more out of it, but he's had some decent runs and has shown flashes of brilliance there. He's also shown flashes of that, getting loose out of turn number 2. And would like to see a little bit more consistency out of the driver of the 78, but he's been around here in OSCA for a few seasons now, and he's getting the hang of it. So running right there in the 8th position, and we have a bit of a gap behind him back to James Watson, our last of the championship contenders right now. He is in the 9th position. Of course, the brightest car on the racetrack each and every weekend, that 39. He is not hard to miss. I believe that actually would be hard to miss is the right way of saying that, but words are not my specialty here. Ty Alkas, Daniel Gore, they are not really in a battle right now. Alkas did get around Danny G earlier on in this race, but right now we have a scrap back here. This is about 14th on back. Patrick Hahey there in 15th. He's all sorts of sideways out of turn number 4. This is a big little group all the way back up to about
the last car.
Say that. Yeah, all the way up to James Watson back to the back of the field here. So this is kind of everyone else in the race right now. not a single driver using the inside line through turns 1 and 2. So you can tell 35 laps into this race, the grip having gone away on these Goodyear Eagle tires. We're on board here with AJ Vasseur. He's your lights champion from here. And from what I've heard, will be the last lights champion that we ever have. Let the Lights series, of course, being disbanded after the season. So little self plug here. I guess that would make me the last ever lights winner. I did win the race there at Gateway, so kind of wanted to get a little footnote there in the OSCA history book. So we got it done. AJ Vasseur, congrats to him on the lights champion. And he is he's of course made a couple of starts here in the OSCA Premier Series since being here this year, and he's done a pretty good job at it. I'd have to assume he might be going full-time next year, but who knows? We might be able to get a word on that from one of the TFM guys at the end of this race, but we'll see on that one. This is on board currently with Connor Thompson. He is actually the last running car right now, but as you can see, it doesn't really mean a whole lot. He is not very far at the end of the field, hitting those bumps in turn 1 and 2, and you can just see how violent they are. The front end bouncing away, and that is absolutely just terrifying as a driver. Connor Thompson actually trying to maybe make a move there on Dave Carpenter. Meanwhile, we have a move, Aaron Evans and Thomas Capuano going at it.
Those bumps,
down
man.
in turns 1 and 2. Yeah, and Thomas Capuano driving Zach Evans up into the bumps, but it's not going to affect the 6 car too terribly much. He's going to hold on to the spot for now. Zach Evans, of course, might be the heartbreak story of last week. Lap number 1, probably with about 3 laps to go, looked like it was going to be victory for the number 6 car, and of course we had a late race caution that threw that all up in smoke, and of course that we saw the number 6 get involved in a wreck. So it went from bad to worse pretty quickly for him, and you lose your first win and then it all goes away even more. Is not a good way to end the race. So just a lot of frustrations for Zach after the end of this one. And I think, there's been rumblings, and it might be all but confirmed, but we might not see the driver of the 6 back here in OSCA competition next year. But I don't know. We'll see if we can get a word with him or get an official word on that. We have an activity here on the pit road. It is Ray Bracey down, and I think of course, this is going to be scheduled for him. He's playing some pit strategy. And that does open the door for the rest of the field. So what do they choose to do? McIntosh has a pretty big lead right now. 2 seconds is the advantage for the driver of the number 10. So I think he's got a little bit of room to play with that. He can stay out a couple laps later than Beers, Alcus, everyone else. So that gives you lots of options to play with as a driver. But here comes Gore on Ziegel trying to... is that Gore on Ziegel? Is that Ziegel on Gore? I think that might be Ziegel on Gore. Ziegel around the outside of Gore, so keeping him back there in the 5th position. And the 2 TFM cars working together a little bit. Ty Alcus there kind of playing the spoiler game just a little bit. More activity on pit road. There's Darren Staff in the 45. He was at the back half of the top 10. So, excuse me, that was actually, he was around the mid half of the top 5 there. It's not really a mid half, but you know what I mean. Gonna be 4 tires of fuel for everyone as they come down pit road. There's AJ Vasseur, one of our OSCA invites. Dave Carpenter down and away.
Caution, caution.
Oh, caution! Oh my goodness, there's the 55 of Eagle. I think might have gone around off the front end of the 69 based on what I'm hearing on the radio. And we'll have to consult the handy data replay, but it looks like some right front damage there on the driver of the 55, and that is what Ty McIntosh did not want to see. He had a huge lead when that caution came out, but oh, right there. That is pretty cut and dry, unfortunately. Daniel Gore just up the racetrack, and Ziegel down and away. I don't think he actually really hit anything, Carlos, and go on board with the 55. Almost a pretty good save, but it hooked right back here and just almost up into the wall, but that is a good piece of driving there on Ziegel's part to keep it out there. And you would have to assume that the two drivers that just pitted there is Staff and Bracy, AJ Vasseur maybe. Actually, he is going to come down pit road, but Staff, Bracy going to be probably staying out here getting the wave around as everyone else comes down the pit road. But yep, going to be 4 tires and fuel for everyone. And down and away everyone goes. So our pit stops for this first caution complete. We went 45 laps green for the first run, so great to see that. Hopefully we can keep that pace up the rest of the night. Looks like it is going to be Ty McIntosh who's going to be your leader. There's Dave Carpenter. He took the wave around. He's going to get his lap back. Indicated from Ty McIntosh that he will be taking the top of the racetrack here on the race start. Vasseur there going around. I believe he was the lucky dog. No, actually, he was just a it's just an OSCA wave.
I think Darren may have been the dog.
Unfortunately, Darren is back down in the pit road, so is that going to be a night over for the 45? Hopefully he can get back out there. Yep, he is going to get back out there, so we should get the pace car lights off here, and let's go ahead and just re-rack the top 10 because we've had a little bit of movement here. Ty McIntosh is your leader. Ty Alkus there in second, Austin Beers third, Daniel Gore fourth, James Watson fifth, Dallas Mayan sixth, Neil Rutt seventh, Dylan Thomas 8th, Kynan Jones 9th, and Zach Evans there in 10th. No EOL was assigned to the caution, it looks like, so Daniel Gore is going to line up there in the, I believe that would be the 4th position. We are about to get going green here shortly. Pace truck's about to make the hard left turn on to pit road. There goes. Field in the hands of Ty McIntosh there on the outside left side of your screen. Good restart for him. We are green flag here at Iowa. 50 laps in the books. Lots more racing to go here in the OSCA finale, but immediately back to single file through turns 1 and 2. Good restart here for Ty Alkus. He's trying to he's looking to make a move into turn number 3. He's going to be aggressive there. Ty McIntosh, I think he knows the assignment. Keep himself away from any trouble at all costs. Out of turn number 4. Good restart for the 10. Ty Alkus can't do anything with that. What is Ty Alkus going to do to keep that 19 and the 69 behind him? Probably not too much about Beers, but I'm sure he will have a say about that number 69. But Ty Alkus, what he is doing right now is challenging that number 10, making him drive harder than he wants to. Playing spoiler a little bit, per se, if you're Austin Beers. If you would love for Ty Alkus to just make the 10, drive harder than he wants to, use the tires up more than he wants to, kind of just be in that mirror and make him known that he is there. Don't want that number 10 to get out to a 2-second lead like he did the first run, but I think there is a lot of speed in that car tonight. It might be hard to beat. Plenty of racing to go in this race, though. Ty Alkus, he wants to win, too. He has 1 on the season. He wants 2. That's a lot better number to get to than it is 1. And, you know, race car driver, race car go fast, go left, race car. That's basically what race car drivers think. Race car, race car, race car. And I think Ty Alkus here, he is looking very quick in that 89. Ty Alkus might be the leader here pretty soon if he can do his cards right. But what is Ty McIntosh going to do? We've seen these two get together throughout the season a couple times, I believe. The tie-on-tie violence has not been a one-time deal. So we'll see if they can play nicely together tonight. Or, you know, we don't want to see any type of championship contenders getting involved with any type of issues. We kind of would love to have a straight fight here to the end, but you know, that is kind of what is going to have to be the onus of the drivers here. We have a battle further on back. This, I believe, that is for 11th place. No, that would be 10th. Hahey and Ziegel in the wall a little bit. Patrick Hahey almost bounced into the 55 there, and that was almost another issue for Ziegel. Now, I can't remember the point situation, if we can maybe pull that up for just a second, but I think Ziegel is not really in it. Yeah, he's about 20 points behind, so he would need a monumental something to happen to pretty much everyone in front of him. So really out here just to try to get the best finish and let God take the wheel at that point and see where he ends up in the standings. But either way, I mean, it's been a great season for the driver of the 55. Had about, what, 4 or 5 wins on the season, and just, you know, was a legit championship contender all the way up to the very end, I would say. And, you know, that does play well for the next season of OSCA if he so chooses to come back there with TFM, presumably. But right now, Ty Alka's still hounding the back of Ty McIntosh. Has not been able to do anything just yet. And it looks like that number 10 might be starting to set sail once again. So he did his homework, he did his studies, he took the quizzes, he took the practice tests, and presumably he has aced them all up to this point. You can see the gap right there, a little bit more than it was last time by 0.3 of a second. Behind him, battle for third, Beers and Gore. Gore, of course, kind of shoved back there on the first run. Did not look super quick right now, but he has an opportunity to do something different this run and maybe learn something from that 19. Maybe change up his driving just a little bit. In the wall, they both went there a little bit, so that is not going to spell too nicely to everything, but just a tap. I think they both should be fine. And right as I said, Ty was starting to pull away. Alkas has caught that number 10, so we got a battle for the lead here at Iowa, and yeah, that number 89 of Ty Alkas has found something in that race car. Gap is about half of what it was 2 laps ago, so not sure if he just started pushing harder or what, but potentially be having a battle for the lead here in a couple laps, but right now, not happening. Ty McIntosh has kept that race car out in front, and you know, he would love to. The clean air is king here. It might not be as bad as it is in the newer stock cars, but no matter what, in iRacing, clean air is king. It's going to make a car drive better. It's never going to make it drive worse. So clean air going to be exactly something that you need to keep the race car performing optimally here. We have a battle here for the 16th position, Capuano and Evans, and you know, a pair we've seen get into it in the season prior as well. So hopefully these two can keep it clean. Thomas Capuano probably would probably agree with the fact that he's not had as great of a season as he probably thought he would. Actually has not been able to capture a win yet, and that's something he has done in prior seasons. You know, other TFM cars having a win this season, and you know, you never want to be the odd man out in that season. Or that right now is Thomas Capuano. So you know, he's gonna have to figure out something in that 21 program for next season if he's coming back with TFM. Try to get some more speed out of that. A little bit further on back, the battle for second place continues to rage on. For third, Beers and Gore. Beers has done a good job of defending that 19, and pretty much what he's done all season. That 19 has been one of the best defenders here in OSCA. And no surprise, he does drive modifieds for a living, so he probably would be good at it. But don't look now. That number 03 of Dylan Thomas, he's the car right behind Daniel Gore here. Looking pretty racy. He's had to drive up from a lowly grid position. He started all the way back in 13th, and now up to the 5th position. So that 03 looking to throw a good run out here. Dallas Mahan back there in 6th as well, so might be seeing some comers and goers and some championship spoilers here. Some drivers who just want to come out here and get a win before the season's over. And Dylan Thomas, you know, he's one of those drivers that has not won this season. He would love to get a win before it's all said and done.
But right now, he's going to have to get through 2 championship contenders in front of him in Beers and Gore, and 2 of the harder drivers to pass here in OSCA, of course. So he's got his work cut out for him. It gets harder as you get closer to the front, and you see right there already starting to lose a little bit of time off that 69, but you can see the ebbs and flows every lap. These drivers are giving it everything they can. We do have some side-by-side battle. Ooh, trouble there for Thomas, just about. Got a little bit loose there off turn number 4, and he's going to be under fire from Dallas Mayan there into turn number 1. So move that 78 up to the top 5, if so temporarily. Yep, Dylan Thomas going to get the run out of turn number 2, but here comes Mayan back into 3. Going to do a bit of a send there on the bottom. You got to wrap it and drive it off the right rear here, but you do that and you get loose. It's going to have to slot right up behind the 03 there. Some side-by-side further on back here. Patrick Hahey, Darren Staff, we saw that 45 have some trouble earlier. He's trying to get his way back up through the field, and still plenty of time in this race. Darren Staff makes his way around Hahey, so move him up to position number 12. We have a battle. Whoa, that was close between Gore and Beers. That's going to actually put Gore on the back foot with Dylan Thomas. Thomas into turn number 1, sliding up the racetrack just a little bit. That's going to give some breathing room to the 19 of Beers. That's exactly what he would love to see in his mirror, that 03 getting all sorts of racy with Daniel, but I think right now that's going to cool off just a little bit. Got some more action right there at the right side of your screen. James Watson looking racy down into turn number 1. Be side by side with Dallas Mayan, trying to get himself up to the 6th position, which would be the highest he's been all race. Temporarily out of turn number 4, but it's so hard to get the power down, and you get loose while doing it most of the times when you're down there. So it is a game of just throttle control, which, James Watson, he does the sprint cars, he does the Silver Crowns. He knows how to do that, so doing a good job of it right now. Ray Bracey here, we saw him have some issues earlier, and right now has not had the opportunity to make his way back through the field like he would want to, back there in the 17th position right now. Would love to get some more positions out of this one. Roughly at the quarter point of this one, Ty McIntosh, your leader by 0.6 of a second over Ty Alcos. Beers 3 seconds back from that. And then Gore about 0.2 of a second. That battle rages on for 3rd. Dylan Thomas continues to run in 5th. Watson 6th. Ziegel just took 7th from my end. Neil Rudd 8th. Or excuse me, Neil Rudd is 9th. And then Kyle Jones there in 10th. We are minding our P's and Q's here right now. Kynan Jones running there right behind the number 6 of Zach Evans in the top 10 for what could be his final OSCA race. We have a battle between Gore and Beers side by side once again up there for 3rd. This is the best run that Daniel has had, but just cannot make the pass stick right now. A masterclass in oval racing defense being displayed right now for the driver, that 19. And you can see just turning in the corner just a little bit early, taking Daniel's line away, and that is just ever so slightly making the corner that much harder for the driver of the 69. And you can see James Watson back there. He is loving it. He has gotten himself up into this fight. And I think Austin Beers, he is holding this group up just a little bit. Oh, sideways there for Gore. We are starting to get a little bit frustrated here, I think, up at the front. Calm her down, boys. We're only about a quarter of the way in this one, so we got plenty of time to be angry left to go. See these cars running low to the racetrack, sparking away through the corners, and they are digging right now. These setups are, looks like these cars have quite a bit of grip relative to what stock cars usually do around this joint, so here that Daniel Gore is getting lippy over the radio right now saying that he cannot pass. It is impossible. Which, yeah, that seems to be the case for at least him. I've seen plenty of others pass. I think that's just a little bit of the championship frustrations right now. He knows that he's got to get around the 19 and then some to be up in that position where he would love to be in the championship fight, but right now not going to be the case. And he's already had one issue with one Team Fenceline Motorsports car, the car that is 3 cars behind him right now, Ziegel. They got into each other for the first caution of the race. So I kind of think that Daniel would love to not have another run-in with a Team Fenceline car, and you know, I think both of these drivers know that right now. We're working lap 82. Once we get to the line, 200 laps to go.
Hey, Cam, there's something we got to consider. Of course, these guys, Ty McIntosh and Danny G, came into this race tied on points. And you want to think it's obviously just finish ahead of the other. But it's a little more complicated than that, because you can still earn bonus points unless the rule has been changed, right?
Well, I believe the bonus points that we can earn in this race are down to laps led, leading like 1 lap and leading most laps, maybe clean driver points like that, but no passing points aren't affected for this one.
Yes.
So
obviously right now Ty McIntosh has led every single lap of this race. So for the time, he does have the lap led bonus point, and potentially the most laps led bonus point. So that's 2 spots, two positions he has on Danny G. So if Danny G wins the race, that'll take away 1 point because he led a lap. I believe they might still be tied if Ty finishes second. However, Ty McIntosh has the clean race bonus point. He has 0 X's, and you would assume Danny G as well because he hasn't had any contact with anybody. However, lap 15 going side by side, I don't know why it counted as a 4X, but he got a 4X with Darren Staff. Both of them got a 4X when they made a little bit of contact exiting 2. So Danny G does not have that clean race bonus point.
it's a great shot there, Carlos. So that's essentially that 1 point is one position that does put it in favor of Ty right now. And we did have an issue with Aaron Evans a couple laps ago. He did spin the car around on the backstretch. That is why he is now 20 seconds behind. And we do have a replay queued up here.
Oh, too much beans.
Just a little too much beans, a little tank slapper, and it's like he kept it out of the wall. Good piece of driving to keep it out of the wall. No caution, but he is well behind the leader right now. Actually about to get lapped. We do have some activity on pit road once again. Ray Bracey, one of our drivers that pitted first around on that first round of pit stops, and unfortunately was a little bit burned by the caution timing there, but Thomas Capuano down and away as well. So you can see Daniel Rohr still not able to get around that number 19, the Great Wall of Beers, doing a great job of defense in that that familiar looking, it's not baby blue, it's more just like a light blue. I'm not going to try to assign a color to that one. It's just a light blue. But Dave Carpenter down pit road now, and you can see a lot of our drivers moving well up the racetrack, using that high line down in turns 3 and 4. As the sun goes down here, it will continue to get darker as we move through this race. We will be fully under the lights as we get to the end. So that is going to change how the track drives. That will change where the grip is. That will change how these drivers are able to make speed in these cars. So will that benefit Daniel Gore? Will that benefit Austin Beers? Will that benefit Ty McIntosh? We don't know yet, but we know right now these track conditions have been very beneficial to Ty McIntosh. He has been lights out right now, but we're going to have lots of pit stops here. 50 laps in the tank for these guys. We said about 5 to 6 pit stops if we go green. Lots of opportunity to make mistakes. lots of opportunity to mess the entry of pit road up to speed, to miss your box. Hopefully, these drivers will not have that happen, and they can keep it out on the racetrack. But it is something that we have to make note of. We will be looking for black flags like a hawk up here. Darren Staff getting his left side tires on. The lead between Alcus and McIntosh now up to about 1.9 seconds. So you can see once again the driver of the 10. He did his studying tonight. He did his practice tests. He knows exactly where he is going to be running each and every lap, and it shows. He's been consistent. He's been flawless, and right now he's been the man to beat. See what happens when we start cycling through the pit stops right now. Who will be the first driver in the top 5 to bite the bullet and come down pit road? I have to think it might be Daniel Gore right here, because he's been stuck behind that 19 each and every lap, and sure enough, over the radio, he's calling it out. I think we have another one there, that is Dylan Thomas as well. And there he is. Daniel Gore has decided to come down pit road, so he's the first of the top 5 to bite the bullet. That's going to open the
Leader pit road
window for the rest of them. There is Ty McIntosh down pit road. Alcus down as well. Ziegel, Myhan down.
Oh no!
Oh, Patrick Hahey into the pit wall. That's not going to. It's not going to do anything good for anyone, but hopefully not too much damage on that. That's going to be a meatball for the 87, I believe, for Patrick Hahey. What I'm seeing on my screen. So, oh, that right front is killed. He is going to have to get. That might be too much damage. We're done.
Yeah, he does have a meatball.
Ty McIntosh down and away.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh!
Oh, beers around on the front stretch.
Ooh,
Gonna
I don't like
back up
that.
into
I don't like
traffic.
that.
Nope. Oh, my goodness.
Mm.
Well, you hate to see it. You almost knew something like that was going to happen at some point in the race, but... Oh, Lord have mercy.
Let's take a look at the replay. Maybe it wasn't what I thought it was.
Let's see what happened here.
Beers all over the front stretch at the party foul.
I love you, Austin, but make it look less obvious next time. Anyway, second caution of the night sees the 19 driver, one of our championship contenders, a spin on pit entry. And we do have activity down on pit road. We'll see how that shakes the field up here. We had a lot of drivers that did just come down pit road, so presumably they will be taking the wave around, but that will flip some drivers on strategy, and it's going to put some drivers probably where they weren't really needing to be here, but yeah, and hearing that the scoring is somewhat messed up now, so that certainly did kind of throw a wrench into things, and not what you wanted to see here, but either way, James Watson appears to be the leader right now in that 39, so him and Zach Evans going to be 1-2 on this restart, it looks like. Once we get the grid kind of cleaned up a little bit here, we'll run you through the top 10.
Camel Camping's out there saying ran out of fuel at the end, so I'm not sure who that was.
I believe that is Aaron's account.
That kind of checks out. All right, we are 1 to green, and I believe this is how the field is going to be set.
Yeah, we have some. We do still have some argy-bargy here with people not knowing where they're going to be lined up. But let's take you through what we have for the top 10 right now. It's James Watson, initial leader. He's going to be lining up on the outside line. Zach Evans is there on the bottom side, right side of your screen. He's going to be second. Neil Rutt third, behind Zach. Ty McIntosh there in fourth. I think we might just be.
I think we
sure
delayed it.
Ty is up there. Ty Alkus fifth, Ray Bracey sixth, Daniel Gore seventh, Kynan Jones eighth, ninth is Darren Staff, and 10th is Eric Ziegel. And I'm not really sure if any of that grid is currently correct. So good.
I think
call
Beers
to
got sent to the
delay it right
back.
now.
Somebody else is being sent to the back. Or at least dropping to the back. I believe that's Aaron Evans. But we should be good to go this time by. This is the lineup we should be seeing with James Watson choosing the outside line. Zach Evans on the inside.
Yeah, we still can't figure it out in the back for some reason, but Pace Truck is going to. Oh, one more lap here, it looks like.
No, we're still 1 to green.
So, yeah, good call. Good call from race control on that one. We were not at all lined up there in the back of the field. Oh, well, actually.
Oh,
No,
something
completely
happened.
wrong there. Yeah.
Oh no, Ron goes the 85 after contact
Oh,
from his
85,
teammate.
Kynan Jones.
No caution.
I'm not sure I was live there, so that might have been a me problem, but we are green flag. Problems for Kynan Jones. James Watson got a great restart. One person who did not have a good restart at all was the 6 of Zach Evans. I think he might have
Caution's
missed a
out.
shift or something there, but yeah, caution is out. Looks like the issue might lie with. Not really sure.
Can
who
you
it lies
check
with
if that
right
was an
now.
admin caution? Because I'm not seeing anything on track.
Don't believe. Oh, Austin Beers spun again in turn number 3, or spun. Yeah, he spun again there in turn number 3.
Oh, okay.
Can we roll that back a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
I hope I didn't see what I thought I saw here. Okay, well.
Maybe there was some confusion
Are
as
we
to how
just-
wide they were.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to switch it to a different camera. I'm just literally trying to find the correct camera for this. Yeah, 48 just did not move up as expected from the 19. And a little bit of side-by-side contact. The 48 went around, and I don't really think there was any intent on the 48 of paying back the 19. Although I'm sure he's going to be okay with what happened there. So that brought out the caution. Let's take a look at the restart. Yeah, I think you called it. I think he was on the wrong gear. And then I think the 7 might have either also maybe missed a gear. Because it seemed like everybody was kind of going a very similar speed. And then it just seemed like the 7 kind of checked up. Maybe during a shift point. And the 85 had nowhere to go. He hit the brakes. And unfortunately, Darren was not as quick to react. I think maybe a little... I think if he was going to react, it would maybe be past the human capabilities there, and ran into the back of his teammate, which it sucks because earlier before the practice, Earlier during practice, he was saying he hopes that he doesn't get spun out by any of his teammates tonight.
And I do believe we have a development with the 19 of beers race control judging that last one on him as well. So
I may not fully agree on that one, but we're not the ones making the call.
Yeah, I think they were talking about parking the 19, but beer's still out there protesting it right now. So we got everything here in the OSCA finale tonight.
We're not even halfway.
Oh, well, there you go.
What happened?
There you go. Austin Beers is no longer in the race.
I think he may have lost that argument, and he has parked it for the night. Or been parked for the night.
Forcibly.
Yeah.
That's what we would call, if this were baseball, he just got thrown out of the game. So that settles that. That settles that battle for the championship for the driver of the 19, and he is not going to be your 2026 OSCA Rio Grande Mexican Girl Cup Series champion. But we have another restart here, lap 107. James Watson. Ooh. A close call there on lane change for the 39, maybe. I think that's, I'm not sure. That might be a close one, but I think he might be all right. But James Watson currently is your leader. Ty McIntosh and Ty Alkus, they're going at it for position number 2. And the lone TFM championship contender, well, lone...
87.
Well, there you go.
Oh, around!
My goodness!
Development! Huge development!
Turn number 2.
No heavy contact, though. That's great.
No heavy contact for either driver, and you just hate to see that everything we didn't want to see before the race started is starting to play out here. And let's check the replay. That unfortunately might have been somewhat on the driver of the 10 there. It's like he came up a little bit. Let's get an overhead and an onboard shot and a couple others before we start blaming people. But out of turn number 2,
behind him as well. 55 shoves up Danny G again. I think that's the second time this night.
I think that, yeah, let's going to believe, oh my goodness, that was a hit check and a half there for Ziegel, and sure enough, yeah, these two going around. And
I think it's a racing deal. I would honestly say the 10 honestly probably would have expected the 89 to kind of move up a little higher, and of course the 89 doesn't necessarily have to do that. So I can't really fault the 10 or the 89 in this scenario. I don't know how race control will see it, but I do kind of want to see that hip check from the 55. Yeah, from the 55. Did he overdrive the? I mean, there was a little net code, but there was going to be contact regardless. But did the 55 overdrive it, or is that just like a weird angle that I had?
I think he did, but I also think there wasn't really any attempt to not overdrive it. So you can see he just kind of gasses it up, and there wasn't a whole lot of attempt made for Ziegel. So you can tell that was a bit of beef from a prior incident there. So yeah. Yeah, we can tell Ziegel is going to get the lead out of that situation.
Watson did go down to the road, by the way.
Austin, race control did deem that caution the fault of the driver of the 10, so McIntosh was charged with that, and we have been just having issue after issue after issue this race. It's only the 4th caution, Carlos. It really feels like it's been a lot more than that, but we're still not even halfway yet.
I mean, compared to the last couple of races we've had, where when we look at this bar, it's mostly been yellow compared to green. This is a pretty good change.
Yeah, it's definitely I don't know. It's a weird situation when it starts to become one of those military little bar things. Like, there's a name for it. My dad's military. I should know it, but I just don't. I'm sorry, Dad. Don't be disappointed in me. But the little things, they go on your rank and the little things you get for serving. But yeah, when it starts looking like one of those, I mean, the race itself becomes a bit of a question as how it got to that point. But we do have the pace truck lights off, and let's re-roll the top 10 real quick. Ziegel, Evans, Thomas, Gore, Rutt is your top 5. Mahan, Vasseur, Stapp, Jones, and Carpenter is your top 10.
Are you talking about the military ribbons?
The ribbons, yeah, that's what they're called.
I had a couple back in JROTC. Of course, they don't really matter much because it's JROTC, but yeah. I was slightly decorated.
Heck, I think my dad would say they don't matter for real either, but that's
Yeah,
my
I guess.
dad, and dad plays everything in his life, so he had quite a bit of them for his retirement.
I could have skipped
But
a couple
either way-
ranks. They didn't want me though.
Another restart here at Iowa. Great one for the driver with 55, and it's going to be about 2, 3, maybe 4 car lengths into turn number 1. The gap between him and second place, Zach Evans. Battle for third, Dylan Thomas. He gets shoved way up out there into the bumps. He's going to lose 1, 2, maybe 3 spots. It's going to give Daniel Gore the position number 3 all to himself. Big scrap behind him, though. Daniel Gore would love to be out of that. Let's keep track on Ty McIntosh as well. He was involved in the last caution, has dominated this race up to this point. And if he wants to win himself a championship, he's going to have to dig deep for it. He's got all these cars in front of himself to pass. And, well, still a lot of time to do it. Carlos, we're not even halfway yet. Oh, Dallas Mayan gets hip checked up the racetrack. That was courtesy of the 03 of Dylan Thomas. That's about the 5th time we've seen something like that this race. So they're learning, they're evolving, they are seeing what everybody else is doing, and it is getting physical here at Iowa. We're only on lap 116, boys. We got plenty of time left to be angry at each other. I said that earlier on already once, and I've said it twice here. We're not halfway. But this battle for the 7th position rages on. All these drivers trying to find some room on this racetrack. There is plenty of it, but is it usable? You go up there to the wall in turns 1 and 2, and the bumps are so violent that your screen will start shaking. So it is definitely something that you don't want to have happen. Dallas Mayan driving it deep into turn number 3, trying to make the move on Vasseur. Rolling that bottom side, and that is generally where you will see most of these drivers trying to run early on. It saves the tires a little bit being down there, but the speed's going to come out on the high side as we wear the tires out a little bit. See the Ty McIntosh there. He's not making a lot of progress right now. Might just be taking it easy on the tires. Maybe just saying, I'm not going to get myself up into that fight just yet. He knows his long run pace is good. No reason to go up there and get into this. He doesn't want to be in this right here, this 3-wide battle between Mayan, between Bracy, between Dylan Thomas, which looks like Bracy is going to win that battle right now. Around that outside, gets both of them. So move that number 7 up into 7th position. About 21 laps from our halfway point in this race, and definitely a lot of action, a lot has happened up to this point. We have lost a championship contender. Will we lose more before the end of the night? We will definitely see. Right now, Ziegel over Gore by 0.2 of a second, and then it's 0.5 back to Zach Evans, Zach Evans, Neil Rutt, and Darren Stapp, all within a second of the lead. So the battle up there for the front, very, very tight at the moment. And I think Ziegel has not shown a lot of pace up in this race so far, but he's also not had the clean air, so we'll see how much that affects the 55 in the positive way. Remember, clean air is never going to make your car drive worse. So we'll see if Eric Ziegel can use that to his advantage and maybe do something with Daniel Gore. We know that the gap between him and Gore is in the point situation is quite massive, so I think Daniel Gore not going to be too worried about seeing that 55 in front of him for the race win. Right now, he would be the champion for the 4th time over, but lots of racing to go. We know that driver, the 10, his teammate wants to prevent that. He wants to get himself up there. Well, we're hearing him over the radio. He's yelling at someone, and it looks like it's probably Ty McIntosh. Or, excuse me,
Looks like it is probably Ty McIntosh yelling at Thomas Capuano.
Okay, I was gonna say.
But maybe he was yelling at himself. Oh, that's going to be tight. That is whoosh. That is a tight one off of turn number 4, and Thomas Capuano not going to give him an inch. Of course, that being a Team Fence Line Motorsports car. Ty McIntosh going to drive it hard into turn number 1 here. Now he's got, Kynan Jones did him a solid right there. I think completely unintentionally too, but Kynan Jones was the saving grace for Ty right there. So move Ty up to position number 13. He's starting to make his charge right now, and the numerical value, the gap, 3.5 seconds. So it's not that much. He's got to stay cool. He's got to stay calm and collected. Felipe, baby, stay calm. Yeah, but what a wad right here that McIntosh is in. He's got Connor Thompson around him. He's got Dylan Thomas. Ty Alcas down the road just a little bit. I'm sure he's not looking forward to having to race him down there. So going to try to be making quick work of that number 89. Doesn't want to probably see another Team Fence Line Motorsports car. This race battle for the lead. Daniel Gore has caught the 55 of Eric Ziegel, and these two have been physical all race. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it here once again. A little bit of paint trading there between the 69 and the 55, but a lot cleaner this time around. I think it might be all Daniel Gore here into turn number 3. He makes the move relatively easy. Don't look now. Zach Evans has not fallen off this battle for the lead just yet. He probably should have got a win last week here in OSCA, and, you know, what a way to go out in style if he were able to do it here tonight, running there right in the 3rd position. Right where he would say he probably wants to be right now.
Caution,
we have a caution. Oh, that's a big one. I think we're hearing that Dylan Thomas might be the perpetrator of that one, but we can see the loser in the car damage department is going to be Kynan Jones. Lots of damage to that race car. It is not really straight on any body panel anymore. And let's take a look at what happened here.
Oh, net code.
Turn number 3, net code. Yep, and that's big hit there for Kynan. Big hit to the 21 of Capuano as well. The two best friends here in OSCA, of course, making their government-mandated contact. But, of course, that is going to be pit stops for all of the front runners here. So pit road very active right now. We would expect to see 4 tires and fuel on everyone's car.
We will see. I was talking to my drivers before the during practice session, and one of them noted that you're not really wearing out the left sides too much in this track.
You can see the battle off of pit road there. Like, oh, I think we saw some strategy there with Ty McIntosh.
Yeah, I think he has to. Ty McIntosh and Ty Alcas.
Sure enough there, Ty Alcas. And Ty McIntosh is going to line up behind Daniel Gore, his teammate, so familiar spot for the driver of the 10.
AJ is the only one that has stayed out. So pending any potential black flags he's going to get if he does go down pit road next time by, he will be the leader. And it's been about 30 or so laps.
Working our 5th caution of the night. We're not quite there at halfway yet, but we're about 10 laps away. So we are getting through it. We are going through it as well, but we are getting through it. And AJ Vassier is going to be taking the top here. You can see the tire difference there.
should be resetting to 1 for all these drivers as they come around here, and we'll see if the graphic does that. Well, I mean, it does,
It's
but you
too
just
small
can't
for
really
it to
see
display 1, but yeah.
Yeah. But of course, is going to be
This is great
going
for
to be old tires there
it's
for
great for-
Vasseur.
Danny G and Ty McIntosh are going to be on the inside, 1-2. Ty's bonus point lead is all but gone. He only has, at the moment, the 1 bonus point for leading the most laps. But I'm not sure that's enough to overcome the additional points for winning a race.
I don't believe so, but let's check out what happens on this restart. AJ Vasseur, he's going to have extremely old tires, so presumably he's going to maybe affect his teammate behind him. But let's see how this one plays out. Base truck is off. Vasseur is your control car, and there we go. Great restart for him. I think him and Ty Alcas timed that one just a little bit. They have every right in the world to do so. Here comes Alcas. Big move into turn 1. I think Vasseur might have been
Around 66
strategy there. Oh, there's rut around.
I just kept it off the wall.
And not going to be hitting the wall there, but working our 6th caution of the night here, and it's going to be a self-spin for the driver of the 66, it looks like.
Which means
Thankfully, no wall contact for Neil in his final for now. We'll put an asterisk there. Final for now, OSCA race.
yeah, I think this might be a good time for us to take a little break. Rest or specifically rest your voice before we go back to green.
I think that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, welcome back here to the Iowa Speedway. We are just about to finish up our 6th caution of the night.
Ty Alkus is your leader. Daniel Gore second. Eric Ziegel third. Ty McIntosh fourth. Evans is fifth. Darren Staff sixth. Ray Bracey seventh. James Watson eighth. Dallas Byhan ninth. And Aaron Evans sits 10th. We are about to get a restart here. Pace truck is off. Daniel Gore trying to pull up and match the 89, but ooh, that might have killed their restart. We're hearing some jawing over the radio for that one. I don't think anyone was happy about how that one played out, but we're going to see how race control deems that through turns 1 and 2. It is Alkus and Ziegel who are 1 and 2. The battle is for third. Gore and Staff going at it right now. That restart was all sorts of messed up for some people. Race control calling that restart a bit of a netcode situation, which, you know, it might be true. We have a battle for 5th. McIntosh on Watson. Remember, McIntosh has the 2 tires, and so does Alkus. So the 2 ties in the race, they have 2 tires. There's a joke there. Laughing, please. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Literally will be here all night. Lap 140. We're almost at halfway. One more lap and we are there. It is Ty Alkus who presumably might be the halfway leader. Means nothing on the night. No points, no bonus, no nothing for the driver there, 89. But leading at halfway is nonetheless pretty cool. And if he can lead when he gets back to the line here next time by, he will be the halfway leader. McIntosh there on the bottom, 1 and 2, trying to make something happen with James Watson, but not sure how those 2 tires are going to be affecting that race car. He's not done it yet all night. And through turns 3 and 4, Darren Staff trying to make something happen on Daniel Gore. Ty Alkus does lead the halfway lap here. So if you liked what you saw up to this point, we're going to do it all over again. And as we groan in complete agony, in unison, we will note that this has been a pretty good, pretty chaotic race up to this point. So we've at least had a lot to look at, and a lot of chaos and drama, and just general good race type things. But yeah, Ty Alkus, the non-championship driver, he is shown the way right now, trying to get his 2nd win on the season. Aaron Staff up there in the 45 having a pretty good run right now. I don't think he's close enough for championship glory tonight, but he has not gotten a win on the season, and he would love to do that. So lots of reasons for that 45 to go out there and try to make something happen for himself. Selfish reasons, yes, but that is racing, and all these drivers are out for their agendas tonight, trying to finish out the season strong. We're not sure how many of these drivers are coming back next season. We're not sure how many aren't coming back next season. So, it could be the final OSCA race for some drivers that we may or may not know. Darren Staff looking on the bottom of Ziegel here into turn 3. Strong move for the driver. The 45 slides up off of 4. Can't make it happen. He might be under fire from Gore, but slots right in behind that 55. Going to be shoved up to the high side here through 1 and 2, but it's hard to pass if you're on the bottom there. I think Darren Staff going to use that well to his advantage and keep that spot off of turn 2.
McIntosh looking inside 39. If he does, then if he gets past the 39 and gets right behind that 69 Danny G, they would be tied in points.
Do we have some activity on pit road? My hand and looks like Dallas. My hand is down there.
He's got a meatball flag.
Thomas Capuano.
Something happened to Capuano as well.
My hand.
Let me see if I can find out what happened.
Yeah, I'd have to wonder if these two are related somehow. Huh.
I'll keep looking. Maybe something happened ahead of time?
Might not be related. I think Tom might have had a hardware failure or some kind of computer issue, because he
seems to have lost his screen or iRacing or something there, and oh, yep. He's saying this, all of his USB devices just kind of reset themselves there, so that, well, it smells of some kind of like voltage issue if I had to take a guess. I mean, heck, that's usually what USB kind of issues manifest themselves as, but either way, hope it goes well for him. He is what looks to be about 4 laps down at this point. My end, 2 laps down due to his meatball flag. Staff on Ziegel right now trying to make that move stick this time. See, that's a slide job and a half from the driver of the 45, and he's going to get himself crossed back over from Ziegel. Might not be the worst thing in the world if he can hang it around the outside here through 1 and 2. It's hard but doable. I think he might. Oh, no, in the wall. Oh, that was all sorts of almost bad for all 3 of these cars right here. And remember, that's Daniel Gore right there, so he doesn't want to be getting himself in any type of trouble. And you can see back behind him, it's still side by side between Watson and McIntosh. They can't figure it out, and you got to think that McIntosh would love to do just that. He doesn't want to be fighting with that 39. That is not his fight, but James Watson is not giving it up easy. Here comes Gore on Ziegel. These 2 best friends have been playing nicely all race, and by that, they have a complete lie. They body slammed each other about 6 times, I think, is the counter. So
I don't know if it's each other.
They can,
I think it's mostly been one-sided.
I'd have to say that's probably true, but we'll see if that becomes a little less one-sided here. If Gore can slide up into the 55, and I think he's got 1 or 2 free ones, but yeah, right now Gore can see in his mirror that they're still side by side between Watson and McIntosh behind, and McIntosh just can't do anything with that 39. Maybe those 2 tires just not having enough grip right now to get what he wants out of that. But you will also note we are getting darker on the racetrack. Nightfall is coming. Lights are on. We are not fully dark yet, but we are pretty close. So it won't be too long before we get that. And I think Watson, yes sir, he gets it for himself. But McIntosh says, no, thank you. I've been working you over for about the last 20 laps right now, and I'm not going to give it up that easy. We'll see off of turn 2. He's going to slide up, and yes, sir, he gets it finally for the driver of the 10. Disposes of the 39 and puts him back to the clutches of Zach Evans there in the 6. But let's go on board with McIntosh. It's been a fight for him. He's now back behind his championship leader, and I believe, well, might be doing math here, but I believe he would be correct in saying, Carlos, he would be the championship if the race ended right now. Something Bill Weber, I don't know. They used to talk about that all the time, and maybe not. Maybe we don't need to bring that up at this point, but it is fun to talk about nonetheless. But yeah, after many laps of working over that 39, McIntosh gets himself up into the top 5 and behind his main championship contender. What a race it's been up to this point. I mean, Lord have mercy. So much has happened. Ziegel on, or excuse me, Gore on Ziegel right now. Gore trying to make that inside line work, and you know that 55 is not going to let either of these drivers by. He's had beef with both of them this season, so
here's what we do know.
Be turned off.
2 tires appears to work.
Yep, at least to some extent. We had some looseness out of turn number 2 there behind, but it looks like everybody did gather it up. No issue, no caution, anything like that. So we are good at the moment. Lead between Alcus and Darren Staff currently about 9/10 of a second. And Darren Staff has been just ever so slightly slower each and every lap, besides lap 158, looks like. But Ty Alcus out there doing a great job using that clean air to his advantage. Kynan Jones goes another lap down. Daniel Gore and Eric Ziegel go side by side once again, and that 55 there on the outside is going to be the hardest car to pass all night. I think Daniel Gore realizes that, and he's probably going to try something different. Going up to the outside, trying to maybe get a run, but Ziegel also follows that 69. Maybe a bit of mirror driving from that 55. Going to toss it into the corner, Daniel Gore is, and still not able to make anything happen. And what Gore really doesn't want to have happen is have Ty McIntosh get himself below Daniel Gore, get himself into a battle with him. So Daniel Gore is going to have to play offense and defense at the same time. We have a activity on pit road. Dave Carpenter comes down. It's a scheduled stop there for the 3-pedal Mafia number 71. Over the past couple laps, Ty Alcas has extended his lead quite significantly over Darren Staff. It's now up to about 1.6 seconds. And Darren Staff looks like he is maybe starting to struggle on this long run just a little bit. Maybe going to be in the clutches of Eric Ziegel before too long. But the two Redux teammates of McIntosh and Gore are also fighting behind Ziegel. So Ziegel also going to have to play some offense and defense here. Great racing here at Iowa. You can just see how the multi-grooveness of the track is starting to play out. And as a driver, as a spectator, both of those things are great to see. You love to have options. And when drivers have options, the racing is generally better. If everybody has to drive the same speed on the same line, that's generally when you see processional, not side-by-side racing, and things start to get a little bit dull here. But all these drivers using different lines, literally all 4 of these cars on screen using different racing lines kind of on all ends of the racetrack right now, just trying to find something, some grip, something over any of the drivers around them. And you can see Ty McIntosh running really, really low here in turns 3 and 4, trying to get some air on that nose, trying to get some downforce. When you're behind another driver, when you're tucked up behind someone, you lose a lot of that downforce, and your car just doesn't turn like it would when you have clean air. Like when you're Ty Alcas. Ty Alcas now, his lead up to 2.3 seconds, becoming insurmountable right now. And I think Darren Staff kind of starting to become the cork in the bottle of this group. He's a little bit slower, and you can see Ty McIntosh going to make a move down on Eric Ziegel. He's going to drive it into turn 1, but so does Ziegel. Not going to give it up very easily at all, but Ty McIntosh getting a good run off too. That might be a saving grace. He's going to have to go all the way down to the bottom, but Ziegel, he's great at keeping that car to the right side of Ty McIntosh, but it's not going to be enough here. Ty McIntosh gets the spot from Ziegel. Clean pass for the driver of the 10. Now he wants to dispose of Darren Staff. Darren Staff, I think he's been struggling these last few laps. It might be an easier pass for Ty. Darren's not going to put up too much of a fight, I don't think. And he's also going to get in the wall, which makes things a little bit easier. Ty just needs to drive it in there a little bit deep, and going to be a pretty elementary pass for the driver of the 10. So he is following his championship contender through, but Darren Staff, he is backing them up right now. They were almost 3 wide behind him. He is struggling in that 45. Lead between Alcas and Gore down to 2 seconds. It was about 2.3, 2.4 at its peak, but I think as Gore and McIntosh got through traffic, they might start running that 89 down. We're not sure. Daniel Gore, the first car out there on 4 fresh tires. Alcas and McIntosh, the ties, they have 2 tires. You can see right there. Yep, we're starting to see green on the lap tracker, which means Gore is starting to run down Alcas ever so slightly, and might be faster than McIntosh as well. We can maybe get him on that interval chart as well. Yep, and it is being pretty consistently green right now, 1.9 seconds, and I think he's bringing Gore is bringing McIntosh along with him. Not to the same speed that he is catching Alcas, but they are both starting to catch that 89 little by little, lap by lap. We're about 173 on the lap counter, 10 laps from 100 to go. So we are getting to the end of this one. And my, oh my, anyone that has just joined us, it has been a race and a half. Austin Beers was parked by race control for a couple incidents involving the driver of the 19
Oops, that's the wrong button.
They did not like. Oh, that is Ty McIntosh down pit road, so some strategy being played for the driver of the 10. think he's had enough of those 2 tires. He's going to bolt 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles on that car, and down and away he goes. Connor Thompson also on pit road as well. So what Ty needs is for this to go green at this point. He's going to hit the blue line, and down and away. He is free to go on the track anytime after that. Is going to open the window for everyone else to come down pit road as well. And I don't really have numbers or anything like that, and wouldn't really want to give me those anyway, but not really sure how the pit strategy or anything like that's going to play out. But interesting strategy call nonetheless for Ty. He obviously thought this was his best play, so let's see how that plays out. Hopefully he did his math right. Darren Staff hollering over the radio. He's going to come down pit road next time by, so I think yeah, we're definitely going to see a lot come down pit road. We have 3 wide on account of the different pit strategies there. Connor Thompson having a drive-through pit, or a drive-through traffic. He was 3 wide with, looks like, Zach Evans and James Watson. He's going to be 3 wide again with Ziegel and Bracy. Love having these different strategies on the racetrack that create this kind of racing. But right now, Aaron Staff down pit road. We will wait and see when the rest of the top 5 decides to come down. Gap between Ty Alcus and Daniel Gore has reduced to about 1.7 seconds, so definitely the 69 tracking down the 89 ever so slightly, but I would have to assume that one of these is going to pit before they catch the other. We don't have a lot of time left on this gas tank. I don't think. There's Patrick Hahey down pit road. He was already a couple laps behind. Right now, Ty McIntosh is gaining time on these fresh tires, but he's going to lose that time on the back half of the run. And if it's too much, I mean, that's kind of insurmountable advantage if you get to that point. But right now he is doing exactly what he needs to do. If he has a spotter, what Ty would really need to be doing is running about a tenth quicker than the leader. Whatever pace that would be, he needs to go about as slow as he can on those tires and just save right now. There is Eric Ziegel down into the pit road.
Leader pit road.
Yep, there's your leader, Ty Alcus. Now, and there's your second place, Daniel Gore. Follows Ty Alcus down pit road.
Uh-oh. 87 had taken a little jump through the infield grass in the front stretch. No caution, no, it's just going to lose a lot of time.
Yeah, that might be a penalty too, depending on what iRacing decides to say about that one, but I don't see it yet. I think if he was going to get one, he'd already have it, so.
No, he already went down the
good.
road. I think he just gave it too much beans exiting a corner.
I think, let's see what the final gap is.
I think Hahey just got black flagged. No, Ty Alcus got black flagged.
Oh, wow. That is big. I wonder what he got the black flag for. Let's check his pit exit. Huh, I could not actually see what happened. He must have sped or something, but it looks like he's gonna... Wonder if that is going to be the end of the night for the driver. The 89 comes down pit road and has parked in the stall. Wonder if this is a Carson Hocevar moment for the 89.
So right now, your effective leader is going to be Ty McIntosh. Ty going into turn number 3 at the moment. Then all the way back to second place would be Darren Staff, currently going into turn 3 now. So the gap looks like it's about like 6 seconds or thereabouts. So Ty McIntosh with a pretty big advantage right now. Of course, we know it's about a 5 or 6 lap advantage on the tires for everyone behind him. So Ty is just going to have to ride that out, and hopefully that he can be on the right, be not too far behind when he comes down pit road next time. But we know Ty has been great on the tires when he's had the clean air. He's got it now. 6.1 seconds is officially the gap once Daniel was able to get around Darren Staff. That's probably going to start decreasing pretty consistently now. But either way, I think it is going to be one stop from here to the end, perhaps. I would have to assume so. So we will see how close Ty is on that. But yep, you can see that number 5.7. It's going to be every lap at this point. But Ty just needs to go as quickly as he can and hope that he is not too far behind at the next pit stop. Right now, Neil Rutt behind him in that 66. Neil did pit a lap later, I believe, so he's got a little bit fresher tires. He's going to go ahead and unlap himself. Ty knowing the assignment here. There is the gap visually back to the driver of the 69. Now down to 4.7 seconds. And you can see on the lap counter there, it's about half a second per lap at this point. Plus, and yep, definitely the newness on those tires on the 69 is showing itself right now. Of course, McIntosh also in traffic. That's not helping matters at all. And having to lap the 48 of Aaron Evans, and not where he would love to be, but 4 seconds is a gap nonetheless that no matter what, tire advantage or not, is nice to have. We are on board here with the driver of the 10. Of course, dominated the early part of this race, was the car to beat, and probably in the spot he should have been all along, but has been a road to get here. Right now he is on the back foot strategy and he has made his bed. He's got to live in it. He's got to do something. He's got to do anything with what he has been given and given himself strategy-wise here. But battle back for 6th position, Watson and Bracy right now. Bracy held it. Watson would love to get it from the driver of the 7. Off turn of 4, loose for Bracy. Holds on to it though. All these drivers minding their P's and Q's. We are deep into this run right now. Getting close to 82 laps to go. Watson goes around the lap car of Thomas Capuano. Zach Evans also following through. He's having a great run here tonight in that 6 car. Has been consistently in the top 10 and in the top 5 a few times. So doing a good job. And here is Evans and Thomas going at it for the 12th position. Ooh, I thought Thomas was going to get in the wall there. Back up at the front, Ty McIntosh, 2.2 seconds is the gap. There's Capuano down pit road. He was a couple laps off the pace beforehand, so not going to be a factor in this one. But yeah, the gap to the lead continues to dwindle for the driver of the 69. It's now under 2 seconds, 1.9
He's unfortunately got Ty Alcus in front of him. Daniel Gore does, so we'll see. We will see if Alcus gives that room or not, but he is under no obligation to do so. Down to 1.4, definitely almost there. About to finish up lap 200 here, so definitely you can see the margins there. The numbers are getting smaller, but they are still green, and that is what matters here. 1.2 at the line. 82 laps to go here for Daniel Gore, for Ty McIntosh, for a 4th championship if you're Daniel Gore, for a 1st if you're Ty McIntosh. Which strategy is going to prevail? Both of these drivers have gone through it this race. It's not been cut and dry for either of them. They've had to show what they're made of, and that's what OSCA has been all about this season. Another 0.4 of a second. Daniel Gore is flying right now. 80 laps to go. Ty is probably going to lose the lead here at about 2 laps. What he needs to do is just not lose a whole lot of time after the fact. Stay on board here with Daniel Gore for a little bit and just watch as the gap visually starts to dwindle. I'd say Daniel Gore is pretty much all but there at this point. 0.3 of a second. Any additional laps that Ty McIntosh can hold off the 69 at this point is going to play into his strategy just a little bit more, but it's going to be hard because Daniel Gore has eliminated a 6-second gap, and he is there behind the driver of the 10 right now, so going to be a little bit of mirror driving from McIntosh. I think that's necessary at this point, and everyone knows that, but going to have to do everything he can to keep that 10 out front, because once Daniel gets around Ty here, it's going to be over in the sense that that 69 just is going to be faster. There's not much Ty can do about that. It's the tire advantage, but if Ty can delay it, that will help his situation that much more each and every lap. And you can see right now, Daniel has caught Ty, and he's just in that dirty air, in that wake of the 10. Cannot run the line he wants to entirely, and that's slowing down his pace just a little bit. Ty kind of driving it into the corner a little bit deep, and Daniel's gonna cross over, trying to make something happen off the corner, but not gonna be this time by Ty doing a good job of doing exactly what Austin Beers was doing earlier on in this race, and just playing defense, playing hard defense at that. And of course, these two know they are teammates, and they are well aware of that. They've been pushing each other all season to new heights that I don't think either of them have seen. But that's why they're in this position right now. And with about coming up to about 70 laps to go here, and it's not that long before we're going to see these final pit stops, I think, for everyone. There's a reason why these two have been the cream of the crop up to the season, and they are fighting for a championship right now. Daniel Gore has the run on the inside, but as we've seen all race, it is hard to make that pass down there if that driver is on the high side and not going to give the room. But they do have Kynan Jones to negotiate right in front of them. Where does Kynan go? Kynan's going to stay well out of the way. Just to continue to go side by side. Ty McIntosh doing everything he can on that outside line to just keep the 69 down there. Oh, Ty hits the bumps a little bit wrong. That's going to hurt his run off of turn number 2, but he keeps it there critically on the right rear of the 69. He's going to have to drive it hard off into turn number 3, exactly what he does. I don't think he's going to keep the car on the right rear anymore. No, he does not. So to give the 69 that position right now, But what Ty needs to do is just stay as close as he can. The pass has been made. It is done and over with, Ty. He just has to stay as close as he can right now. At the line, you can see laps led there for Ty, 117. I don't think Daniel is gonna have a chance to match that.
No,
Could be wrong,
mathematically
though.
he cannot.
So that is going to be a point that cannot be given to Daniel Gore.
Could it be taken away from Ty McIntosh? 48 plus the 70 remaining. I think technically Ty Alkis could do it, but he needs to get a couple laps back very, very quickly. And it doesn't seem very likely for that to happen at all. So I think not mathematically possible, or it's still mathematically possible. It's just really, really unlikely.
Yep, sure enough, I'd say that is quite unlikely, but we are under 70 laps to go here, so I think within about 15-20 laps we'll be seeing these drivers make their final pit stops of the night, presumably if we go green. That is always the question mark, but Daniel Gore has taken the lead over Ty McIntosh. 0.3 of a second is the gap. Ty McIntosh, of course, about 5 or 6 laps down on the tires over Daniel Gore. He did pit several laps before and is just trying to keep the gap what it is. I don't think that the 71 of Dave Carpenter making that move is going to help him whatsoever, but what Ty needs to do is just let that 71 got by, because he is going to catch Gore as well and potentially hold him up too. And that would be, if you're Ty McIntosh, you would love that 71 to hold up Daniel Gore. He is going to do that. To what extent, we're not sure right now, but sure enough, he is going to just a tad there.
Caution, caution.
Oh, and we have a caution. Let's see what happened here, but
I'm shown Ty Alkis possibly involved.
yep, looks definitely between these two here. Alkis and Dylan Thomas. And
That could have been netcode. Been playing a factor in tonight's race, and
really all season, unfortunately.
I mean, if I'm the 03, I'm hoping it's netcode. Yeah, that's netcode. Don't know why that brought out a caution though. That wasn't an admin thrown caution, right?
That was not.
Yeah, that's very trigger happy on iRacing to throw that caution there.
But either way, we do have activity on pit road. Everyone is coming down, and that's going to put these two on the same strategy once again.
I think if Ty wants to win this race, I think he really has to take 2 tires.
Well, we'll see what he decides to call. I think he's got the pace. You know, they are going to be on the same strategy once again, and I think he does have the pace to beat. Well, there's your answer.
Normally 2 tires just doesn't work in iRacing, but I think tonight is the night.
Yeah, what do you think Denny Hamlin thinks about 2 tires? You know, if he would have taken 2 tires at that one Phoenix race last year, we would have been talking about a completely different championship winner. But either way, our 7th caution of the night, and it has been a race, Carlos. It has not been boring for sure. Been a really, really chaotic, really dramatic, really action-packed race here for I think what we had going into it. But right now, Redux Racing with the top 3 drivers, or top 3 spots locked down. Ty McIntosh, Daniel Gore, and Ray Bracey with a good pit stop. Did he take 2 tires? I think he would have had to take 2 tires. I'll go back and check him to see what is going on with the driver. The 7. Fuel only for Ray Bracey. Interesting call there. Pace truck lights are off though, so let's get a quick re-rack of the top 10 here. Ty McIntosh is your leader. He elects to take the outside on this 7th restart of the race. Daniel Gore will line up 2nd on the bottom. 3rd will be Ray Bracey. 4th is Darren Staff. 5th is James Watson. 6th, Eric Ziegel. 7th, Neil Rutt. 8th will be Aaron Evans. 9th, Thomas. And 10th will be Aaron Evans. Will make the hard left turn onto pit road here in just a moment, and there we go. Green flag out here at Iowa. Great restart for the driver of the 10, Ty McIntosh, with a huge jump, and he might pull Darren Staff along with him. He would love that going through turns 1 and 2, but Darren Staff all the way up to the bad bumps, and he's going to be disposed maybe back to James Watson territory. 8, 7, 60 laps to go here once we hit the line, and you heard me doing math in my head there. We'll see how well those 2 tires work on the driver of the 10, and I would have to think that, I mean, we still have one more stop left to go, Carlos, so
We do?
you know, yeah, I think these drivers can only go 50 laps on fuel, so we have 60 to go. And that's going to throw a wrench into things here. We'll see how that one plays out, but maybe some fuel saving going to be, I think it's about 50 to 55 or
50 to 60 laps
54.
according to Vic.
That is a pretty big disparity in numbers.
That is a
but,
huge disparity, you're right.
I think I heard from some drivers it was closer to 50, so I think it was about 50 to 52 or something like that, like realistic. So we might yet see another stop in this race, and we might yet see another battle for 2nd. Daniel Gore might be under fire from Darren Staff, and that would be the best thing in the world for if you are Ty McIntosh, because that is your championship contender. Of course, he has 4 tires, and you have 2, so math doesn't math out there with the tire advantage, but of course, not always cut and dry like that. Ty McIntosh has had the pace advantage earlier on, but he got caught out with a poorly timed caution, has had to race his way through the field back up to this point. That high line to his advantage, doing everything he can to try to keep that 69 from getting to the right rear, because really when that happens, that is kind of game over. That is when the pass is made in these Generation 6 stock cars. It's all about the right rear, so what Ty McIntosh is trying to do is just protect the right rear. So doing a good job at that, using the higher lines to force Daniel to have to go up there even more if he's going to make the pass. You can see Ty way up there right now, and you know, maybe not worried about that tire advantage right now. He's going to use everything he has up to this point because it's for the championship. I mean, it's if you burn him up at this point, you got to do what you got to do, because as we kind of talked about earlier on, if he wants to be the man, he's got to beat the man. And that man is right behind him right now, all over the back of the 10. And he is going to send it on into the corner. Almost some contact between these 2 teammates. But Ty, he's not going to give it up. He's going to give it everything he has because he wants his first championship. How much does he want it? Who wants it more? Does Daniel want his 4th, or does Ty want his 1st more? Right now, Daniel cannot do anything with the 10 on the bottom line. We'll go on board with Staff here. They were almost dead even at the line. Tire advantage on the 69. Of course, he's got the newer left side tires. Is it going to be over here? Yes, it is. Give position number 1 to Daniel Gore. So that is all she wrote for the battle right now. But of course, long race, long runs, plenty of time left to go. And right now, Darren Staff got himself up into the second place. He is the championship spoiler right now. And what can he do? He is going for glory in that 45. Doesn't have a win on the season. Everyone around him does. And everyone around him being Daniel Gore and Ty McIntosh. James Watson also not having a win, so he would love to get that, but a little bit more work for him to get that from his position right now.
His teammates, Myhand and Jones, are multiple laps down, double digits lap down. So for Arcade Motorsports, it's literally just Aaron Staff out there running for a chance at the win. If he does not get the win, it's going to be the first season Arcade Motorsports does not win in a season.
A lot of pressure on the driver of the 45 with that. He is in second, though, 4.5 tenths behind Daniel Gore. And, I mean, he's got his work cut out for him. He's up with the best right now, and they are championship contenders for a reason. We've said that so many times tonight, but that's the way it kind of plays out. You see it every year in stock car racing. You see it every year in sports in general. I mean, at the end of the season, it's going to be like your top 5 drivers are all going to be chasers, because that's why they are the chasers. They are your top 5 drivers, and such is the way the things usually pan out here. But extending the lead just a little bit is Daniel Gore, and I'm not sure if McIntosh is loving that 2-tire call right now. I'm not sure if I love it either. I think he had the pace to be able to take Thor and just try to do it that way. So I'm not sure if the car driving exactly as he would like on those 2 tires right now. He might be under fire from Watson, which is not going to be anything good for the championship run on that 10. And it's looking like that car is just not driving the way Ty needs it right now. So he's probably looking for a caution here. One more opportunity to throw some tires on it and make something happen. But yeah, his championship scenario for Ty looking a lot different now than it did about 100 laps ago, unfortunately.
It's so odd because we saw both Tys run the 2-tire strategy earlier in the race with almost the same amount of laps ran, and it worked out perfectly for both of them. So I guess the only thing that changed is there was some sunlight outside when that happened. So unless it's another factor I'm not considering, it's probably just been the temperatures that have cooled off that have just not made this call work, as he is getting shoved in the back from the 55, a little too close for my liking. Oh, netcode!
Oh! Yep, we're playing dirty with the netcode now, and you don't want to see that happen. Zeke's gonna drive up the racetrack. These two have had contact. Oh, in the wall goes McIntosh. He's gonna lose 1, 2, 3 positions there on the racetrack. We have Bracy down pit road. So down under 50 laps to go in this one, and it seems like the chaos and the action has not ceased from happening. Not sure if Bracy, that's a scheduled pit stop or what, but
I think it's scheduled. I think it's a strategy call.
Yeah, I know that I don't think we could have gone to the end here, so we'll see how that plays out, but
I like it.
Right now. We almost had another caution there with McIntosh and Ziegel on the front stretch, but thankfully McIntosh, thankfully or not thankfully, he was able to keep it under control, but unfortunately lost a lot of track position. He's now back to the 9th position, and kind of the last car in that first group right now, running behind Neil Rutt. So yeah, it's kind of gone from bad to worse here for Ty, and he's we're not quite there yet, but we're going to be thinking about Hail Mary type stuff here before too long.
I think the Hail Mary would be him really short pitting, kind of maybe to the same level that Bracy did, because it's clearly right now this tire track combos and not working for him. He's hemorrhaging spots, hemorrhaging time. If he gets a caution, then he'll be in the same spot as everyone else. He'll go down pit road, get tires, and I'll have to go down pit road again. But he's still going to be mired in the back and outside of a good chance of winning the championship, unless Danny G gets a speeding penalty. Which at this point of the season, I doubt it's probably going to happen. His best bet would be to short pit like a severe amount and then hope he can hold off or hope he gets like a late caution when he is in a good position. It's as you mentioned, the Hail Mary, but I mean, I'm not really seeing another way out of it.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing. I think Carlos is maybe if he had a spotter to someone to yell at him and tell him that the two-tire call before a potential long run might, might not be the way he wanted to go later on in this race. But it is what happened, and we're not out of it yet in that regards. But it is. I think it did put the 10 on a bit of a back foot strategy, which we are getting under 40 laps to go here. We are chucking towards the end of this one, end of the race, end of the season, and it is quickly approaching there. Lots more activity on pit road. We have looks like Dave Carpenter, Ty McIntosh. He decides to bite the bullet and come down pit road now. So he was down about 5 seconds on the field or on the lead when he came down pit road on account of those issues he had a couple laps ago. So we'll see what can happen here. A well-timed caution could throw everything sideways or turn everything around or do anything like that. We'll see if anything like that happens. But down and away he goes. Kind of going to be the last-ditch effort here for Ty to make something work with that strategy. And, of course, Carpenter sideways on the backstretch. I think he got it going again. No, he didn't, actually, but don't think that's going to be a caution. That would have been a disaster, I think, for Ty if that did bring out the yellow. So I think he's going to be happy that was not the case. He needs the yellow about 10 laps later or something thereabouts. Battle for second here, Watson and Staff.
Yeah, he just does not have a long run car at all. His setup is, his car is perfectly timed for that short run. Anything more than what are we right now? 30 laps is just horrendous. And Danny G going down pit road. I think this may be a bit too early for McIntosh's liking, but if a caution does come out, it does put them a bit closer together. So, this is pretty good actually for McIntosh.
And I think Daniel knows that. Of course, he knows that he's really only going to be worried about Ty, in the sense of getting the championship here. Of course, if that throws the race. So be it. You're usually gonna be okay with that if you're in a championship position. So we'll see what plays out. I don't think it's gonna harm his race run too much, either. But was that 2 tires for Daniel?
That was 2 tires. That is interesting.
Well, yeah, you can tell that they are trying to cover each other off there, and I think Daniel might have thrown his race for the championship. You can see the gap there. It's almost a lap. I mean, it's about 3/4 of a lap or something like that. Are getting down towards the end, even more so. 30 laps to go. James Watson is your leader, 0.6 of a second over Darren Staff, and then 2.3 seconds back to Zach Evans. Zach Evans has had a great run all night. We've talked about his struggles. He's coming down pit road now. What will be of this race for the driver of the 6? We think this might be his last OSCA race. We have trouble with Dylan Thomas on the front stretch. He was slow, but I think he's going to be able to collect it up and get himself going again. Driving along the inside pit access road down there on the apron. Apron's not very far from the track in the corners, but he is going to keep it down there. Lots of damage to the right front. I think there definitely was a coming together between the wall and that race car. That might be night over for that driver. Ty McIntosh coming out of turn number 2 now, so the gap is about the back straightaway between these two. Of course, Ty McIntosh has the 4 tires. Daniel Gore has the slightly fresher 2 tires, so we'll see how that kind of plays itself out a little bit, but Ty McIntosh not doing himself any favors with the fact that he was about 5 seconds behind Daniel coming into the pits to begin with. And you can see right here, the gap, it's still a little bit red there for McIntosh on Gore, so kind of a moot point, the tires regardless, but 25 laps to go here. It's getting a little bit dire straits for McIntosh. He's going to need a caution or something big to happen here, I think, if he's going to get going after his first OSCA Series championship. We are on board with him, and you can see way down the road there, one of those 3 cars in front of him is Daniel Gore. I believe it is the second of the 3. Here is Dan Staff on pit road, so that's going to give the lead currently to AJ Vassier there in the 40, or the 14, excuse me. Quickly approaching the end of this one, Daniel Gore going to make the move and drive around Vassier with 23 to go. McIntosh about 4 seconds behind Gore at this point, and right now he's probably thinking what could have been if it weren't for that issue where he lost about 4 seconds. It would be neck to neck. But right now, Dylan Thomas with a black flag, I believe, for speeding on pit road. I think McIntosh is going to need a yellow at this point. 22 laps to go, and 4 seconds is the gap. He's got 4 fresh tires, but they are a little bit older than those 2 fresh tires on Gore, and you can see a couple laps ago when we had our the gap between Gore and McIntosh, it was not really helping McIntosh too terribly much right now. So yeah, you can see there another lap of red. McIntosh is going to have to negotiate the 14 of Vassier here before too long, probably in a couple laps. That's going to hurt his lap time a little bit that lap. Got time by McIntosh a little bit quicker, probably on account of Connor Thompson lapping Daniel here, and it's going to need to be a little bit more than 31 thousandths of a second. Under 4 seconds. It was temporarily. We are under 20 laps to go here in the season. And a quick update on the Stanley Cup game. I just looked at the score of that. You don't want any spoilers, your warning was now, but Carolina Hurricanes defeated the Vegas Golden Knights 4-2, so they are up 3 games to 2 over Vegas. So we could have a Stanley Cup champion in a couple days, which would be great. Gotta say, I am pulling for the Hurricanes myself. Would be great to see them. Oh, Vassier sideways there out of turn number 4. That could have been everything over for McIntosh, but I think McIntosh going to probably pretty easily make the move here going into turn number 1. Not going to be too much for Vassier. He's got the older tires, and easy enough move made for him. So it is back to these two being in the top two, Gore and McIntosh, your two championship rivals, the two that I can't really say they've been the best all season. We've had different, it honestly looked like at the first part of the season it was going to be a TFM runaway, but Redux, they came on strong near the end. Ty McIntosh with a hell of a run to get to have a career season. When you look at the stats, it's almost like a different driver showed up this year, and you can absolutely tell that the Redux Racing influence in the driver of the 10, he's probably trying a little bit too hard there. But,
in the back.
Oh, Vasseur spun it around there off of turn number 2. He's gonna back it up and hopefully not cause a yellow here somehow. I think gonna be able to do it. Down and away he goes.
I think that's the closest you could do without actually bringing out a yellow.
Definitely think that would, and I think Ty would have loved it, but either way, good that we didn't have it, though. Love to get this one over with. It is 11-13 on the East Coast, and we still got some post-race and interviews stuff to go over, so still quite a bit of OSCA action left. 13 laps to go. It is you're very much in the closing stages. Probably would be the 2-minute warning in a football game, and it is not enough at this point for McIntosh. The gap 4.5 between himself and Daniel Gore. And on any other night, it would be a great run. But on this night, he needs to beat Daniel Gore to be the champion. And right now, Daniel Gore has that title. He has the 4-time.
Caution, caution.
My goodness. Caution out.
Ziegel.
With 10 laps to go. Eric Ziegel.
Which means exiting the corner.
Not sure. You know, don't want to be that guy, but the team fence line guys have had a lot of they've had a lot of spins tonight where it seems like they've just stopped driving the car a little bit. But either way, it's neither here nor there. It is perfectly feasible that he could have lost it there, but you know, it does come into question sometimes the quality of Ziegel. You know, Ziegel he's a great driver, a multi-time winner on the year. Has not done that any other time this season, just about. It begs the question of what are we doing just a little bit. But like I said, it could have been legitimate. I don't need to be that guy. I'm being that guy, but I don't need to be that guy. Presumably we are going to see all these drivers come down pit road though and get either 2 or 4 tires on the car. We did see Daniel Gore take 2 on his stop, so you know, we could see some strategy here again. He probably wouldn't take 2 again, but might be forced into doing so. Yeah.
Okay.
April in chat saying, but you are. I am being that guy. It's more trying to be complimentary, you know. Somebody who's been pretty on point all season with about 5 wins. They usually don't just loop it out of nowhere, but you know, this is OSCA and this is racing, so it is what it is. We're not going to be accusatory here, but we're just going to point out things like that, which is completely fine. But either way, Like no takers down pit road.
I'm looking at, yeah, we only had a handful of drivers go down pit road. Most of them were either getting a lap back or something else of the other matter. Looking at the last couple of points finishes for the series, and I'm actually, I was incorrect in my judgment. It's not 1 point differential per position. Actually, each position is 2 points ahead of the other. So at the moment, Ty McIntosh has 1 bonus point for leading the most laps. So he would still need to finish ahead of Danny G, because 1 bonus point is not enough to overcome the 2 point difference per position.
Gonna be fireworks on the restart here. We know these are teammates, but I think that they both know the assignment.
No hard feelings?
It's looking like it's. Yeah, I think so. I think they know it's probably gonna be between them. Team Fence Line, unfortunately, looking like they are somewhat out of the equation here. But there's the pace truck down pit road. Good restart there for the 69. Good restart for Ty as well. Remember, there's a slight tire advantage for Danny, but he has 2 tires versus McIntosh's 4 into turn number 1. Daniel on the high side, McIntosh on the bottom side. McIntosh gassing up, trying to get the run, get any type of grip he can. But here comes McIntosh, or here comes Watson to play championship spoiler. What is he going to do? Is he going to try to go for the win? Yes, he does. I think he's going to try to take that outside line, take that momentum, and go up there and try to race Daniel Gore. Oh, here comes the 45 at Darren Staff as well. 5 laps to go. James Watson looks like he wants to get his first win of the season. Oh, trouble. Zach Evans around on the backstretch. I think we might get a caution. Not quite yet, but that is not going to be a caution here. James Watson with the run around the outside of Daniel Gore. I don't think Gore too worried about that right now. He is in the championship leader position. Oh, he drives it in though. Almost to the side of James Watson, and it's going to be forced back in the field a little bit. This might put a wrench into the championship position, or championship standing, or whatever. Championship classification, I guess, is what you would say, because Daniel Gore, he's not going to have those winning points if he doesn't win, obviously. Here comes Ty Alkus with a big send down below Daniel Gore.
Ty Alkus went down pit road.
Yeah, 3 laps to go here. It's a battle for the win. We don't know anything about the championship situation right now. It is James Watson, but I think it's going to be Alkus. Alkus has a ton of speed in that number 89. He definitely bolted some fresh tires on that machine. It's going to be easy peasy for the driver, the 89, for the lead here. Oh, it's close, though. 2 laps to go. We don't know anything that's happening on the racetrack right now. Lord have mercy. It is all to play for, but Ty Alkus, he is the man to beat out of turn number 4 right now. White flag on the season. He's going to go for his 2nd win. It is back to 4th between these 2 championship contenders. Gore and McIntosh back in 6th and 7th. Who's going to be the champion, or who's going to be the champion between them 2? We're going to have to get an official word on them, but out of turn number 4, it is Ty Alkus with his first win on the season. I think I just said first win on the season. It is his 2nd win on the season. Lord have mercy. It was a long, long night. Team Fenceline Motorsports, they looked down and out of it tonight, but Ty Alkus comes through with a win, his 2nd of the season. What a great run for the driver of the 89. And not really sure who's going to be the champion yet. It might, we'll have to get an official word on that from the Vickler himself, but it
What?
might be Daniel Gore. He is
I'm
sitting
trying to see
there
what
on the
other
front stretch.
bonus points we have potentially to give out. Fastest lap, I believe, unless my timing is wrong, that's going to go to Darren Staff. Clean race bonus, both of these drivers no longer have it. We're not doing passing points. And each driver has led a lap. Ty McIntosh has more than likely locked up most laps led, and I think that's it for bonus points. I just don't think that's enough. It is not going to be a tie. Ty has already gotten out of the car, so I think he knows he's not celebrating tonight.
Well, we are going to be waiting for an official word. The only thing official I think we know is that is your winner of the race, Ty Alkus, in the 89. He is the only one that is for sure going to be celebrating tonight. At the moment, lots of activity going on in the chat right now from various parties, some connected to the drivers and others not. But I guess, why don't we go ahead and get a break for you guys, and let's get these drivers to go ahead and get out of their cars and get the thoughts collected. We'll take a break on our side, and we'll be back with you guys shortly. All right, well, we are back here at Iowa Speedway. We don't have a word on who the champion is officially yet, and thankfully, maybe not thankfully, I'm not really sure, our top 3 finishers tonight are all non-championship drivers, so we're not really going to care about what they have to say about the championship situation. We want to know about how they went in their race and their season, because that is that's what we're here for. One driver who almost got it done here at the end was James Watson. Let's go ahead and get a word with him. 3rd place on the night. Started all the way back in 14th, so he had to pass a lot of cars. But James, Cam in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, it almost it looked like we were going to see the first win of the 39 this season until a wild Ty Alkus and Connor Thompson appeared with their freshies on. But what a wild night, 282 laps. I think just about everything happened to put it was like a microcosm of OSCA as a league tonight in this race, really, if you think about it. But tell us about your night. How did it go?
Yeah, it was really up and down. I kind of wasn't expecting much. It seemed like I was just being a bit too tight, and it was a struggle to pass, but it seemed like I was starting to get just better bit by bit as the runs went on, and yeah, I was able to catch that that caution and get the lead from that. But then the whole changing lanes thing, which, you know, no other league really has except this one, because of course it does, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I was just kind of trying to fight my way back from there. So was really just focused on trying to be ahead of Ziegel and Darren, because I really wanted to at least end top 5 in points. And slowly but surely was picking my way off there, was able to get up into second, and then the final pit stops happened. I don't think I was gonna get up to Danny G or Ty. I had just almost passed Aaron when that final caution came out, but I didn't, and that ended up being arguably the biggest break of the night, because I was able to start right there on the outside behind Gore. I didn't get that good of a restart, but I was able to hold Ty off, and just I had fresher tires than Gore, and was able to get by, and I was so hype, and I kind of got a little nervous and kind of slid up the track right when Ty got there, but you know, with those fresher tires, I don't think I would have been able to do anything to hold them off. It's a bit disappointing how that all happened, but yeah, ending the season on the top 3 is nice, and I think I did enough to get up into the top 5, which was my goal going into the race. So yeah, bummed to not end my OSCA career on a win, but you know, it could have been a lot worse final race there.
Yeah, and you talked about end OSCA career. If this is going to be your final race, you look back on the season, maybe at career as a whole as well. Do you have any like big highlights or lowlights of both?
I think both my highlight and my lowlight is both the that one race at Five Flags a few seasons ago. For those who know, those who don't, I can't repeat it on air. But yeah, I suppose it's pretty much it. Kind of describes it pretty good. Running well, but not well enough.
I may have been here.
Yeah, a crash out that regardless of whether or not it was justified, definitely will live on in the memories of others. But yeah, it's pretty much it for that one.
All right. Well, it was fun watching you race out there tonight, and it's been fun watching you race each and every week and every time. And it's I've also had the pleasure of been able to commentate with you and continue to commentate with you, which is very awesome as well. So whatever comes next for OSCA and or yourself outside of other leagues, I hope that goes well. But before we let you go, any sponsors or shout outs?
Absolutely. Gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off at checkout. Binks Designs, Icon Sim Racing Apparel, ZS Designs, Dizzy V Designs, and Control Z Designs for put together my paint. You guys and my folks for watching at home.
All right, James. Well, appreciate you talking to us, and
oh, and gotta thank Gilly. He wasn't able to make it in because of the update and getting home from work late. but he was the best spotter you could ask for. He helped me a lot on strategy, doing some really important calculations that my internal calculator just wasn't advanced enough to do. So yeah, he was a huge help tonight, and it was a lot of fun having him on the team this year.
Well, absolutely. I appreciate you taking some time to talk to us, James, and good job out there tonight. And we will be talking to you, or I'll be talking to you in some regard. In a couple
Sir.
days.
Later, guys.
I don't know how it's well, okay, I'm just being told right now. There were rumors that it was a tie on points, but Vic has just gotten on here and said Danny G by 1 point. But he's just confirming that.
So we have not confirmed that yet, or we have. Okay, well, I guess maybe we have.
Yes, we have. Yeah,
let's,
officially now, 11:33 p.m. from Vic Flume. Danny G wins the championship by 1 point over Ty McIntosh.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get your winner here, Ty, out, because unfortunately, I need about a minute, so I will get him up here in just a minute, but just hang tight.
I can quickly go over your top 7 in points. 1,152 points for Danny G, and then 1 point less for Ty McIntosh. And I believe Danny G has started his celebration. There we go. James with 1,135 points. Ray Bracey finished 4th in standings with 1,133 points. Darren 1 spot less and 1 point less in 5th place. And then Austin Beers got parked early, 1,128 points for 6th place. And Ziegel 1 spot less and 1 point less as well, 1,127, as Danny G has won your championship.
And good timing on that, Carlos. I appreciate that. Maybe TMI, but I felt like a Diet Coke bottle if you put Mentos in it just there. So I had to go to the track restroom here a little bit, which I've heard the facilities at IOSB were actually pretty nice. So we'll take that. But yeah, sure enough, it looks like Danny G is your champion by 1 point, which is, wow, what a season, what an end to that. And maybe we'll get a word with Ty McIntosh here at the end of it. That's a disappointing end to it, but it's also, something to be said that he has been the closest to come to Daniel Gore at the end of one of these things. So, definitely something to take away from it. And we talked about it all season, the strides that he has made as part of a new Redux Racing member. So, not a bad thing.
Let's out of request of time, let's go ahead and bring in Ty McIntosh.
All right, well, we got him up here. Been requested to bring you up here, Ty. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, that certainly was a race that we had tonight, and it sounds like it was the tune of 1 point there at the end. But we were kind of talking that sure enough, that is probably a disappointing thing, but that also means that you have officially come the closest that anyone has ever come to beating Daniel Gore. So tell us about your race and tell us about your season.
Yeah, just first off, congrats to Danny. Obviously, this is happy for him, but knowing the circumstances of how this race was before. Yeah, fuck it. There's a lot of manipulation in the race, to be honest with you. There was right at the end. There was when I was in the lead, and we had the modified guy who's won a championship spin out and back it up onto the racetrack magically. Guy barely makes mistakes and happens to make one there. So a lot of things. You will not see me back here in this league on Thursdays anymore. This place is love Vic. Vic's done a great job, but this is it's just pretty bad. So congrats to Danny. This has been great. It literally anything goes differently for me. If Ziegel doesn't put me in the damn fence, just because his pussy hurts, and that caution doesn't happen. I mean, the race is completely different, but it is what it is. Yeah. Fuck Team Fence Line. Congrats to Danny. You guys are awesome. Thanks Thrash, Logan, Riker for watching. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that sums it up quite enough, and strong words, but words that maybe some
Didn't
others
stutter on a damn one. Didn't stutter on a
Exactly.
damn one. So, yeah, they know how they feel. I don't give a shit. They can hit my DMs if they want. Yeah, I don't know. Half the league's gonna quit, so fuck those guys. Love you, boys. Peace out.
Well, all right. You heard it from himself. Ty, strong words from him. And voicing exactly how he feels about that. Coming up 1 point short on the championship tonight. Let's go ahead and hop over to what may potentially be a controversial interview. Maybe another tie that they have had their run-ins together, but it's the winner tonight. Ty Alkus, this game of the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, that was one heck of a race. I thought I was going to have trouble talking about stuff for 282 laps, but OSCA came up and it's a pretty good little race there, and you had a lot to say about that. It started back in P11, and you were back and forth through the field. Tell us about your night. Tell us about your season.
Yeah, I feel like I had a decent season. Got the win at Slinger, and then to cap it off tonight, obviously with this win, it's not how I wanted it to go. With the speeding penalty on pit road, like I made a really, really dumb mistake in a situation where I didn't have to make that mistake. But other than that, I just glad I made it through all 250 something laps, 255, and I had that tire set saved for the end, and I played that perfect, and we got the restart with 10 to go, and I just went on and got her done. And last week, rough week, got involved in some things, and then same thing with the week before, and I'm just glad to end it off with the win. I just want to thank Tom, obviously, for putting me in one of his cars this year. It's one of my good buds in real life. I wish one of the boys like Austin could have got her done for the team championship. I feel like he kind of got screwed a little bit, but is what it is.
Yeah, and this being your first full-time season, coming on board with TFM, a couple wins on the season, but there's also been some struggles. It looks like if you could look at the season as a whole, what are your lowlights and what are your highlights? And is there anything you could have done differently, or how do you grade the season as a whole?
I mean, I feel like it was not really my greatest of seasons. I had a lot of mistakes that I made early on that set me up not good at all. A lot of wrecks by myself and not finishing races, and really once we got the Slinger, I started clicking off. Actual decent finishes, Slinger, I think I had top 10 in all 3 races, ending it off with a win, and I actually finished all the laps in every single race, which the rest of the season, that was really just the goal for me, was just to finish every lap of every race and be there at the end. And like tonight, I stayed committed. We ran every single lap, and we were there at the end, and glad to say I got her done.
All right, well,
you ended the season better than anyone else in the. Oh my God, I'm looking at the interview waiting show. What? I don't know what's going on down there. We'll get to that later. But Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I just
But
want to
you-
say one quick thing. I just want to, before we end it off, I just want to thank my teammates Tom, Eric, Austin, Tom especially for putting me in his car, and then all of their other halves for letting them run on Thursdays. April, shout out to her, big supporter of ours. You know, really upset that Austin kind of got a little screwed over, couldn't get the championship for the boys, but is what it is. Shit happens, and just happy to end it off with a win.
And before we let you go, are you? If you don't know yet, it's perfectly fine. But are you going to be back with TFM next year, or TFM will be back next year?
Yeah, as of right now, that's the plan so far. I think it's just me and Tom. That's confirmed. Hopefully, Austin and Eric, they both have very, very busy schedules. So hopefully they'll be back also. I can't wait to get in one of them Ram trucks, you know what I'm saying?
All right, well, sounds good. Appreciate you taking some time to talk to us, Ty, and congrats on the win.
All right, thank
And
you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything this year.
Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
All right, that was your winner on tonight, Ty Alkos. We do not have a Connor Thompson to be able to talk to for position number 2. So I'd say let's go ahead and bring him up. Everyone has become you in the channel down there, it looks like, Daniel. So I don't know what's going on, but sounds like if Vic's math is correct, you are champion by 1 point on the night. So if we look at the previous seasons, that is the smallest margin of victory, and really the smallest possible margin of victory you can have is 1 point. But Lord have mercy, what a race, what a season. Talk to us, tell us about how that one went tonight.
Well, despite having the pole by the whatever method Vic used to determine, I think it was overall points, it did not help me in the slightest. The inside, when you're side by side with someone, is not the place to be. As we saw all night, and Ty got the jump, and I just could not get in line, and then dropped back down, I think as low as 9th at one point, and just tried my way. And towards the end of the stint, I started making a couple. First caution came out. I can't remember if that was the one where I netcoded Zeagle or not, but that happened. And just kind of try to calm down from the beginning frustration, and eventually things started going my way a little bit.
Yeah, if you look at the results just as they are, I mean, some people would say that you never know like what happened throughout this race, and there was just a lot of action from lap 1 through the end there. But we saw some 2-tire strategies from Ty, and I believe you took 2 as well. So
At the very end, I took 2.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like the 2 tires, they were a lot better relative to 4 early on than they were at the end. So I'm not sure if just more grip in the track kind of negated that, or
it was the whole night.
What?
2 tires was better the whole night, no matter what situation you're in. It was crazy. Ty ended up with like 3 sets of left sides that he never used.
Interesting. Well, that is weird to hear, but that is not at all what we were thinking here in the booth, I think. But
No, I was thinking that.
oh well, hell, I don't know where I'm at then. Either way, I mean, you look at the season as a whole, Daniel. I mean, it was not a clear-cut anything for Redux. There was definitely struggles at the beginning. Maybe just some struggles integrating the new people to the team, getting everything kind of like going. and it almost looked like TFM was going to be kind of the unstoppable force. But when you look at the season as a whole, what was the change, and how did it kind of flip flop to being a Redux year again?
Well, it started off really well at Daytona, and we had a little bit of miscommunication there that ultimately did cost us the win as a team. And I think it was the race after that, or I think New Jersey. I think it was at New Jersey. We all sat down like an hour before practice opened, and we had a talk, and we didn't lay down no rules, but like we kind of mentioned what needed to happen in order for us to start doing better as a team. And from then on, it just clicked. I mean, Ty won 7, I won 7. I think Noah got a couple, Bojo got 1. So I think in the 3 team titles we've had, this is actually the first time everybody on the team got a win. So I definitely think that talk at New Jersey was for everyone's benefit there, and ultimately turned our season around.
Well, sure enough, and it definitely did something there in the end. But any confirmed Redux plans for OSCA in 26B, or we have a lot up in the air, it seems like, but
yeah, that's I'm not too sure just yet what's going to happen, whether it's with me or without me, depending on the thing as a whole. I would still like to field my team, but my future is uncertain at the moment. I do not know if I will be returning or not just yet.
All right, well, certainly enough. That is pretty cut and dry right there. But before we let you go celebrate, number one, do you have a beverage lined up for celebration? And number two,
I sure do.
What is your beverage? And give us your beverage and give us your shout outs.
Well, I got myself a traditional English pub favorite here, and I got myself a can of Foster's. I know Australian beer made in Canada, it's a weird one, but it's really popular back home. I like it. I figured I'd get one just in case, you never know. And thankfully I do get to open it, so for a good reason. And I would just like to thank you guys for broadcasting every race, and Vic for putting it on, whether this is my last or not. Thank you. I've enjoyed every race, even if I don't seem like it sometimes. And I'd just like to thank the team, Ty, Bojo, Noah. He had to cut his OSCA time short, unfortunately, but he was a big part of the team. Past drivers, Jake, Santi, and anyone who supported me. My girlfriend Sam, Jordan, Liam, all of them.
Certainly enough. And champion here, I think you have been a pretty freaking good one. So if this is your last race, it's been great watching you and racing against you for the few times we've actually been able to do it in OSCA, which we will get to do that a lot more here coming up in about a month or so, and looking forward to that. But congrats on number 4. You are officially better than Jeff Gordon, because OSCA championships mean more than NASCAR Cup Series championships.
Oh, absolutely.
Here tonight. So eat your heart out. But yeah, go celebrate it. We will get this show on the road because it's almost midnight. And yeah, congrats.
I'll see you at time.
All right, and I heard you go through the results there, Carlos. Thank you for, I believe, well, did you go to the points? I think you went to the points. I don't think we went through racer results yet.
Let me just quickly get those up here.
Yeah, we can hit those real quick. May as well tie up all the ends of the season because it was one heck of a season. And like we said, the 12th Premier Series of OSCA. And it ends with 4 in a row for Daniel Gore. That number 69 you see at the back of your screen. But it's Ty Alka's Connor Thompson. We didn't really mention him and give him the credit he deserved. Got a position number 2 finish and only his 3rd start in the season. He made the 2 starts at Talladega, finished 24th and 11th, and then ends with the 2nd. So good little run there for the OSCA Invite driver. James Watson, we talked to him, came up 3rd. Damon Staff 4th. Neil Rutt gets a top 5 in his potentially last ever OSCA race. Daniel Gore, the champion, comes home 6th, 1 point over Ty McIntosh there in 7th. Ray Bracey 8th. Aaron Evans 9th. Eric Siegel 10th. Zach Evans 11th. AJ Vessier in 12th. Patrick Cahey 13th. Kyden Jones 14th. Dylan Thomas 15th. Dave Carpenter 16th. 17th. Dallas Myhand 18th. Thomas Capiano and 19th. Unfortunate end for Austin Beers there, being parked by race control. Would have loved to see that one play out to the end of the race, but that is the end of your 2026A OSCA Rio Grande Mexican Grill Cup Series. And would like to give a final thanks to Easy Motorsports, Brickhouse Graphics, and Accelerated Cloud Designs, and Binks Designs. I almost forgot them as well. Thank you all for your continued support and for making this 12th Premier Series of OSCA happen. And whatever happens with the 13th one, I hope to be a part of it. And Carlos, I believe you will be a part of it if it is going forward. It sounds like it will. It sounds like it will be. We do have trucks lined up for next season. Probably some other changes about as well. Some different drivers, different teams, and thereabouts. And you might not see some of the drivers back that you have grown to know and love going forward, but we will try our best to make it a good season nonetheless. And whatever OSCA becomes, we will be a part of it nonetheless. But one more final shout out. I would like to give a personal shout out to my wife, who I love very much, for being very supportive of me, whether I'm racing, commentating, or anything. So she is a vital part of 3Y TV and has always been in that regard. So just wanted to say that I do love her and I appreciate her from the bottom of my heart. But from myself, from Carlos, and from everyone else that makes 3Y TV happen, have a good night.